One Piece Avenging My Family, Eradicate All Celestial Dragons. Part 5. Boom, boom! Luo Noa uses all his strength to fight against the two Five Elders, bald-head and curly-haired. Every slash contains the blessing power of the Power Fruit and the Crushing Fruit, plus the Flame attribute of the Flame Fruit. Originally, Luo Noa possessed the most advanced swordsmanship, combined with the three-color god-level domineering power, and two fruits with super destructive power. The two Five Elders, who were full of energy, joined forces but were beaten back step by step by Luo Noa. The powerful destructive power forced them to use all their armed color domineering to defend. Otherwise, if you are not careful, you will be chopped to pieces. Luo Noa's destructive power is even stronger than rocks. Hold on! I believe Lord Yim will come! Even though he was beaten back step by step, the bald, curly-haired old man also gritted his teeth and held on to the end. They believed that Lord Yim would not allow rocks and the evil ones to cause such a commotion. Sixth secret technique: life return. At this moment, the two Five Elders made up their minds. At the cost of sacrificing lifespan, he restored his strength to the peak of his youth. This move is very costly, especially for the Five Elders who are already old. It is very likely that after using this move, one will die directly due to the consumption of lifespan. Therefore, the Five Elders will not use this move unless it is absolutely necessary. But now is the last resort. Immediately, green life energy surged out from the Five Elders' bodies. The next moment, the gray beards of the two Five Elders turned black. The wrinkles on the face of old man Madara also disappeared. A lot younger all of a sudden. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the sixth style secret, life return. There's actually a hidden trick. When Luo Noa saw this scene, he was also slightly stunned. It seems that this is a move that temporarily gains powerful strength at the cost of consuming life. The Five Elders can be chosen by Yim to become the world's highest authority. They do have their strengths. Luo Noa fights the two again. The first generation Kitetsu's taijutsu and the other two's taijutsu are constantly colliding. A terrifying energy fluctuation erupted. The strength and dominance of the two are much stronger than before. He actually maintained a balance with Luo Noa. But this is only temporary. Once the power they have gained is exhausted, they will fall into defeat again. He was even killed by Luo Noa. On the other side, two Five Elders were targeted by rocks. The same strategy of sacrificing lifespan was adopted. Sixth secret technique: life return. Kimono, suit Five Elders' hair also turned black. His strength and domineering power have returned to the peak level of his youth. The two of them joined forces and rushed forward together, even knocking rocks back dozens of meters. A trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Haha, old man with half of his body buried in the ground, are you guys stalling for time? Want to hold off until that person arrives? That's not that easy. It's time to show you my true strength. The defeated rocks showed an evil smile on his face. Then, his body began to change. A large patch of black fog appeared behind. That black fog has an extremely strong attraction. Rocks! You bastard! It's hidden so deeply! Kimono, the bald Five Elders, was also stunned when they saw the black mist behind rocks. Eyes widened. This ability, without a doubt, it is called the most evil ability in history. Dark Fruit. I've been dealing with the Rocks Pirates for so long. This is also the first time that the Five Elders see Rocks use an ability. This guy is hiding too deeply. Even the captains of the squads such as Golden Lion, Whitebeard, Charlotte Linlin, etc. who were fighting nearby, were shocked after seeing Rocks use his ability. They were all stunned. Captain Rocks is actually a person with special abilities, and they didn't even know it. After all, this is Rock's trump card. It is the trump card used to deal with the man from Pangus City. It is used now because Luo Noa's rapid growth has exceeded Rock's expectations. He has become a strong man who is as powerful as himself. There is no need to hide the trump card. Release it now, just to quickly defeat the 5 elders in front of you. After the man from Pangus City arrives, I will join forces with Luo Nuo. We will definitely defeat that guy. Die, you old bastard! Rox smiled coldly. Both fists turned black, emitting a terrifying gravitational force. Boom, boom! Fight again. Even the 2 5 elders who had recovered to their peak strength were beaten back by Rox and vomited blood. It's still too much trouble to have 2 of them together. I will defeat you one by one. Dark water! The next moment, Rox simply stretched out his right hand and turned into a small black hole. The powerful attraction directly targets the most seriously injured 5 elders of Kimono. Attractive! Kimono 5 elders want to tough it out. But the next moment, his body couldn't help but fly out. With his domineering power and strength, coupled with his serious injuries, he could not resist Rox's powerful gravitational pull. After all, Rox has already developed the fruit ability to the extreme. Kimono 5 elders are not vegetarians either. While flying in the air, he was also gathering his domineering power and preparing to fight back. 6th style secret, destruction. Powerful physical skills combined with domineering power burst out the ultimate energy. A trifle! Rox's eyes flashed, and he wrapped his fist with Conqueror's domineering power that he had cultivated to the extreme. Boom! With a punch of gravity, the old man in kimono's moves were smashed. The fist also landed heavily on the chest of the old man in kimono. Snap, snap! There was the crisp sound of bones being smashed. The old man in kimono flew hundreds of meters away and crashed into several buildings before stopping. Stand up again. Ahem! Ahem! Kimono 5 elders coughed up blood several times in a row. The front of his shirt was already stained with blood. After all, his internal organs had been destroyed by Rox's powerful Conqueror's domineering power. The hair had originally returned to its youthful black state, but now there are a few strands of white hair on the black hair. If I hadn't overdrawn my lifespan to recover to my peak state, that blow would have been enough to kill me. The old man in kimono was horrified. Rox, the Sea Overlord. So terrifying. He didn't die even though he did that. Rox's eyes widened slightly, and he was also slightly surprised. Since you are not dead, keep going. Use dark water to attract the kimono 5 elders again. Don't even think about doing whatever you want. Another suit 5 elders wants to help. Get out of my way! Rox had an idea. Immediately, the ground beneath the feet of the 5 elders in suits turned into black mist, entangling him tightly. Can assimilate surrounding objects. The fruit awakens without a doubt. Take advantage of the opportunity when the 5 elders in suits are entangled in black fog. Go to hell! Rox continuously gave the kimono 5 elders several heavy punches full of Conqueror's entanglement. Head, chest, abdomen, waist. Every vital part of the old man in kimono was hit. Continuously suffered several hits from Rox's Conqueror's entanglement. A large amount of blood flowed out of the old man's 7 orifices, and his eyes were wide open. Die with eyes wide open. As if lingering on this world. The death was extremely tragic. His internal organs were destroyed by Rox's Conquerors. Kimono 5 elders is not the Jin Men guard Jin Huang after all. There is no way he could survive so many hits from Conqueror's entanglement. At the scene, the aura of another general-level strongman dissipated. Damn Rox! At the same time, just when the 5 elders in suits finally got rid of the gravitational pull of the dark fruit and were about to help, when he looked up, he saw the miserable death of his companion. His eyes were suddenly filled with anger. After the sword-wielding 5 elders, another of his partners died. The old man in kimono died again. Damn Rox pirates! The curly-haired, bald 5 elders who were fighting against Luo Nuo also found that the familiar aura had disappeared. I was extremely angry at that moment. 2 partners have died in a row because of the Rox pirates. The 5 elders with swords are kimono 5 elders too. Of the 5 people who have worked together to run the world government for decades, only 3 are left. What are you worried about? I will personally send you down later, and then you can reunite down there. Luo Noa sneered. His observation Haki has already noticed it. The aura of the two people is gradually weakening. Looks like they've almost reached their limit. It's time. Oink. A terrifying slash with the three abilities of crushing, strength, and fire rises from the ground. Shoot hard at the curly-haired, bald five elders. Boom! The two immediately used armed color to resist. Crash! The next moment, the two men's armor was shattered and they spat out a large mouthful of blood. Is that the end? The hands of the curly-haired five elders are shaking from exhaustion. The power of life return is gradually weakening. The originally jet-black and shiny hair now has some white hair. Shallow wrinkles appeared faintly on the smooth skin, and they were deepening at a speed visible to the naked eye. This is the proof. Once this life-returning energy disappears, they will instantly look much older, waiting for them. It will be Luo Noa's butcher knife. Master Imu, have you abandoned us? The bald five elders on the other side looked up at the sky unwillingly. Lasted this long. No reinforcements have been seen yet. The Knights of God. There is no figure. Lord Yim, when will you come? Or has he abandoned himself? Haha, you've been a dog for so many years. Have you been abandoned? This is what it's like to be a dog. Luo Noa had no sympathy for the two. Only ridicule. The dog licker will not die well. Truth is everywhere in the world. When you are useless, your master will abandon you without hesitation. This is what it's like to be a dog. The five elders regard Marine as the external face and lackey of the world government. Aren't the Yim's lackeys? Die! Luo Noa sneered and immediately mentioned the first-generation Kitetsu. Swish! Just one knife. The head of the curly-haired five elders fell directly to the ground. Blood sprays like mist. This is proof of the knife's speed. When I learned that Lord Imu had given up on me, the curly-haired five elders are disheartened. Just give up resistance. Let Luo Noa's first-generation Kitetsu cut off his head. One generation comes, one generation goes. It has been like this for 800 years. Only Lord Yim sits on the throne forever. This is the fate of the five elders. On the other hand, the bald five elders maintained his self-respect. Luo Noa, you want me dead? I won't let you have an easy life. Evildoer! Die! The bald five elders laughed loudly, and the breath in his body began to become disordered. Soon, there was a loud bang. Centered around the bald five elders, a horrible explosion occurred. Directly swept Luo Noa in. The self-destruction of a great general. The explosion lasted for several minutes before gradually dissipating. Looking closely, a huge deep pit with a diameter of nearly 10,000 meters was smashed directly into the center of the Valley of Gods. A general-level warrior can permanently change the topography of an island. Of course, the self-destruction of a great general can also achieve this. Only Luo Noa, who was at the center of the explosion, defended himself perfectly. God-level armed color. 6-style secret technique, the largest wheel, the divine control. Plus steel balloons. Luo Noa, unharmed. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the self-destruct. Luo Noa even picked up the self-destruction move. Luo Noa just smiled faintly at this. It is impossible for me to use such a move. The other side. Bang! Rocks fell from the sky, and his feet created spider-shaped cracks in the ground. In his hand, he was holding the head of the last 5 elders in suits. At this point, all 5 elders are dead. Rocks collected all 4 bodies. 5 elders, all dead. The highest power in the world has collapsed. If there are still those who want to continue causing trouble, then go ahead. But you will have to bear the consequences at your own risk. The next moment, Rocks came to the center of the battlefield and threw the 4 bodies on the ground. Immediately, he shouted to the Valley of God. These words were then broadcast live to the whole world via Den Den Mushi. 5 elders, all dead. The world's highest power. It has perished. The world government is about to be destroyed. The dynasty has changed. Almost all the adult celestial dragons have been killed. The whole world was plunged into panic. Rox, this cruel pirate. After he became the king of the world? Where is the world heading? Ordinary people are horrified. As for the cybernetics Sora, Sengoku, Garp, and Zephyr who were present, as well as the generals and generals of the Air Force, Army, and allied countries. He also gave up resisting automatically. His eyes were blank. The 5 elders are all dead. Is the era really coming to an end? Will the world government also perish? Even Marine doesn't know if it can continue to exist. Everyone was quite confused. Ha! Our time has come! From today on, we are the new gods. This world belongs to the Rox Pirates. Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, John, Silver Axe and others also announced with great excitement. When one person succeeds, everyone in the family will prosper. Captain Rox becomes the king of the world, and he and his friends can become new gods. Just like the 20 kings who founded this world government 800 years ago. In the future, I will also be a new Tianlong. Ha! Very good. I declare that this era is called Rox. I am the king of the world. Rox raised his hands to the sky and shouted. Next, there's only one person left to deal with. That's the man deep inside Marihoa. But the 5 elders are dead, the Marines and the world government have given up resistance. The Rox pirates are strong and there are very few casualties. If that person really dares to come, I will make sure he never returns. As for Luo Nuo, he quietly wiped the blood of the first-generation Kitetsu and recovered his strength. In this battle, a total of 5 general-level warriors died in his hands. Even for Luo Nuo, the consumption is still huge. If the system hadn't been collecting energy all the time, Luo Nuo must have collapsed from exhaustion by now. As for Rox becoming the king of the world, Luo Nuo doesn't care. Now Luo Nuo just wants to wait for him's arrival. Kill it, and then rush to the holy land of Marihoa. Kill all the young celestial dragons and wipe out the roots. My long-cherished wish has come true. Rox, I won't let you have your way. At this moment, Roger led Rayleigh, Jabba and others to the Rox. Unleashing Conqueror's domineering spirit, he looked at Rox and said, I told you. I came to the Valley of Gods to help Luo Nuo. If you become the king of the world, I will stop you. Luo Nuo drew out his famous sword ace and pointed it at Rox. Oh? Interesting, why don't you try it? I'm in a hurry, you guys come together. Rox sneered, bursting out with Conqueror's domineering aura, and a cloud of black mist rose behind him. The terrifying aura is fully released. Except Roger, Rayleigh and Jabba. The rest of Roger's pirate group retreated unconsciously. This momentum is so terrifying. John, Silver Axe, Achaku, Charlotte Lin and others were also ready to go. If Roger and his gang dare to take action, they will take action immediately. Just now they were partners in battle, but now they are rivals. This is pirate. Changing one's attitude is faster than turning the pages of a book. Stop. Roger is my friend. How dare you attack him? Are you trying to make things difficult for me? At this moment, Luo Nuo started to scold Charlotte Lin, Yin Fu and others. After being yelled at by Luo Nuo, several squad leaders did not dare to look at him. The current Vice Captain Luo Nuo is no less powerful than Captain Rox. Luo Nuo is right. You bastards, if it weren't for Roger's full support, we wouldn't be standing here safely now. You change your attitude faster than turning the pages of a book. This is being broadcast live to the whole world. Don't you feel ashamed? Whitebeard also looked unhappy and glared at the captains. How embarrassing! Someone helped you a lot before. We will fight each other in the next breath. You guys have no shame, but I, Whitebeard, still have my dignity. What's more, if Roger's pirate group hadn't held back several Marines admirals, how could the battle in God Valley go so smoothly? Ha ha ha, Luo Nuo. I'm giving you this favor. Roger, you saved your life. Rox also laughed. The one who wants to defeat Pengu City. I still need Luo Nua's strength. Of course, Rox also truly admires Luo Nuo. He even intended to keep Luo Nuo as his deputy after becoming the king of the world. Under one person, above 10,000 people. Hateful. Roger, Rayleigh and others were also gritting their teeth at this moment. If a fight really breaks out, they are no match for Rox and a few other squad leaders. However, at this moment, a huge amount of energy suddenly seeped out from the ground of the Valley of Gods. Bang! 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 A series of explosions sounded. Then, nearly 20 golden lights broke through the ground of the Valley of Gods, bursting out of the earth and shooting straight into the sky. Such a powerful aura. So deep. What is going on? Such a strange phenomenon occurs. The strong men present stopped to watch and were shocked. These nearly 20 golden rays shot straight into the sky, dazzling. The deep aura contained in the golden light made even these great generals and warriors feel inexplicably palpitating. Bang! 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 Soon, golden light burst out with terrifying energy. For a moment, the magnetic field of the Valley of Gods was completely disrupted. In the sky above the island, extreme doomsday weather appeared. The clouds all gathered together to form a huge vortex. In the center of the vortex, thunderstorms kept flashing, as if the end of the world was coming. Could it be? This is. At this moment, Rox's expression suddenly changed. Valley of God! It is said that this is the place where the 20 kings who created this world 800 years ago started. That's right here. The 20 kings united after discussion. A great war was fought with the huge kingdom recorded in the main text of history. That war almost involved the entire world. After that battle, 20 kings won. The huge kingdom disappeared. The 20 kings and their descendants became the celestial dragons. It has been ruling the world government for 800 years until today. Is it hard to say? A terrible idea came to Rox's mind. Soon, the explosion was over and the golden light gradually dissipated. The thing that emerged from the golden light finally appeared in front of everyone. After seeing what it is, all the strong ones present, Kong, Sengoku, Zephyr, Garp, all members of the Rox Pirates, Roger and his gang. There are also the world government's general-level strongmen. All of them were extremely horrifying, and my hair stood on end. At this moment, the Valley of God. After the huge golden light dissipated, the object covered by the golden light appeared in front of everyone. All the strong men present saw the object under the golden light clearly. All of them are extremely horrifying, and their hairs stand on end. The reason is simple. What was covered by the golden light was nothing else but 19 huge coffins. The material, carving and style of the coffin are all extremely delicate and exquisite. It is engraved with gems, diamonds, and gold, and the craftsmanship is extremely sophisticated. At first glance, it is clear that only people of extremely noble status would use such exquisite craftsmanship and materials. In other words, the person in this coffin is in a high position of power. Not only that, these 19 huge coffins lie across the ground of the Valley of the Gods. Every coffin exudes an extremely strange aura. Darkness, death, serious illness, unknown. All in all, it gives people a very weird feeling. Not only that, this aura seemed to be nourished by something and suddenly began to grow stronger. Bang! 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 Getting bigger and bigger, and more terrifying. In the end, the aura emanating from the coffin was no weaker than that of a general-level warrior. What on earth is going on? Where on earth did these coffins come from? Why is the aura in these coffins so strong? The strong men present asked in disbelief. Plop, plop, plop. At that moment, the terrifying conqueror's aura erupted from these 19 huge coffins. Dozens of conquerors' domineering auras merged together, bursting out with a shocking aura of dominance. In the God Valley battlefield, all the soldiers below the level of elite lieutenant generals had their eyes turn white and fainted. At the same time, due to the disorder of the magnetic field in the Valley of Gods, live broadcasts around the world were also forced to be interrupted. The people are all looking at the black screen in confusion. What on earth just happened? Why are there so many coffins in the Valley of the Gods? Look at the surprised looks on those powerful men's faces. That coffin seems very unusual. Why is the live broadcast interrupted? Who can reconnect the signal for us? For a moment, people all over the world sighed. It can't be wrong. That rumor is true. Valley of God. At this moment, Rock spoke, and even his voice was a little distorted. What rumors? Hearing this, the captains present, including Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Charlotte Lin, Silver Axe, etc., and Roger's group are all looking at Rox. Even Luo Nuo looked at Rox curiously. After all, this coffin is so unusual. The atmosphere inside is too weird. That's 19 coffins. Each one exudes the aura of a great general. This also means that God's Valley suddenly has 19 more general-level warriors. 19 general-level warriors! A power that exceeds that of any other force present. Where on earth do these strange powers come from? The most important thing is, what is their position? The Valley of the Gods, according to legend, is the place where the ancestors of the celestial dragons, 20 royal families, reached an agreement 800 years ago. 800 years ago, there was a war in the world. The scale of the war is so huge that forces from all over the world are involved. Among them, the two hostile parties are mainly two major forces. One side is the huge kingdom mentioned in the rumors. They hold terrifying power. Enough to destroy any country in the world. Even enough to destroy the whole world. The situation forced the 20 kings to unite to deal with the huge and powerful kingdom. The Union of 20 Kings is the predecessor of the world government. The two sides have started fighting. The war lasted for several years. The earth was split, the sky was split, and even the sea was split by this war. The entire world's landscape has changed because of this war. The Calm Belt, the Grand Line, the Four Seas, New World. It's all because of the geographical pattern that was formed after this war. The final result was naturally that the 20 united kings won. Their descendants also became the celestial dragons. Ruled the world for 800 years, until today. Rox looked at the 19 huge coffins in front of him and spoke to everyone thoughtfully. But after the victory of that great war, the king of Alabasta, the Nefertari family, withdrew due to some shameful reasons. So 20 kings became 19. As soon as Rox finished speaking, everyone suddenly understood. 19 kings! Corresponding to these 19 huge coffins. Plus the grand sacrificial ceremony held every 4 years in the Valley of the Gods. The Valley of the Gods, where 19 kings from 800 years ago are buried. They are just a bunch of dead people. What's there to be afraid of? Could it be possible that they dare to jump out and bite me? Silver Axe, Achiku, and John all shrugged off the rumor. Even if there are 19 kings buried in this coffin, they are just 19 dead people. The dead are nothing to be afraid of. No matter how powerful his aura is, it's impossible for him to suddenly resurrect and avenge his descendants. As soon as they finished speaking, the next moment, boom! 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 The lids of the 19 huge coffins could no longer be held down. Soaring into the sky. The coffin was filled with golden light, like the holy light of God. Immediately, figures suddenly appeared in front of the coffin. 19 people in total. It's totally different from what I expected. Logically speaking, a person who has been dead for 800 years would have long since dried up and decayed. Only a bunch of dry skeletons will be left. But the appearance and figures of these 19 people are very clear. Even the beard and hair are still there. He doesn't look like someone who has been dead for 800 years. It's like I just woke up. And the ages of these 19 people are also different. There are elderly people who look nearly 100 years old. There are elderly people in their 80s and 90s. There are also old men in their 60s and 70s. There were even middle-aged men in their 40s and 50s, and even women. It seems that these are the 19 kings from 800 years ago. The only thing in common is that these 19 people have extraordinary auras. Everyone is at least a general-level warrior. Did you wake us up again? Alas, even if I die, I can't rest in peace. Has another person who embodies the will of that guy Joey Boy appeared? Joey Boy, this is such a headache. Stop complaining. They'd rather use up an opportunity that only lasts 50 years to wake us up. Something big must have happened. You don't want the fruits of our victory 800 years ago to be stolen, do you? I wonder how my Don Quixote bloodline is doing now. I miss it so much. Don't miss it for now, it's important to do the right thing. A great battle just took place here, and many strong men died. It is with the blood of these strong men that we can wake up. This time he woke up with plenty of power. It looks like the sacrifice this time was of extremely high quality. This also shows that this war was very fierce. After the 19 kings woke up, they started talking to each other. It seems like I am not surprised by such scenes. Obviously, they must have awakened more than once in the past 800 years. This time the enemy seems to be extremely fierce. At this moment, one of the oldest centenarians with white hair and beard saw the situation. Secretly shocked. This war is the most intense war they have fought since they awakened so many times in the past 800 years. There were at least 20 or nearly 30 general-level warriors at the scene. That's more than all 19 of them combined. This kind of grand occasion is extremely rare even for them. I'm afraid that only the Great War 800 years ago could have seen such a grand spectacle. This matter is very tricky. Damn it! Who killed our descendants? He must pay with blood. At the same time, some other kings also saw the altar in the Valley of the Gods, the Emerald City. That tragically dead celestial dragon. The death was extremely miserable. Not to mention the total annihilation of the army. But it is no exaggeration to say that 8 out of 10 people died. And the bodies of the 4 or 5 elders on the ground. Although I have never seen my offspring. But these 19 kings knew at a glance that these dead people were their descendants just by looking at their clothes. The aura of the 19 kings reaches the sky. He looked angrily at the general-level warriors present. Soon, the consciousness of these 19 kings immediately received a message from an old friend. That was the message from the Holy Land of Marihoa. The initiator was the leader who led them to defeat the huge kingdom 800 years ago. Adult Ima. The message sent by Yim was also simple. Kill Rox, the evil one, Luo Nua. These 2 people are the culprits of this war. It is also the biggest threat to the world government. As for the other pirates, kill them all if you can. If you can't kill them, let them go. Lest they fight to the death. In short, Rox and the evil one must not be let off easily. Must die. Rox. Evil. These 2 people are the leaders of this war. Our descendants all died because of these 2 people. Especially the extremely evil. Kill these 2. The rest of the pirates can leave. We will let bygones be bygones. The 19 kings immediately set their sights on Rox and Luo Nuo. Killed so many of his own offspring. Even if him didn't say anything, these 19 kings would kill these 2 people. Especially Luo Nuo. This guy incited slaves to abuse the celestial dragons. His crimes are monstrous. The 19 kings wished they could eat his flesh alive, drink his blood, pull out his tendons, grind his bones and scatter them into ashes, but it would never satisfy their hatred. The ancestors of the celestial dragons? You are a bunch of rubbish. You stole the entire world and let your descendants call you gods? In that case, you bastards should be killed too. Facing the threat of 19 great generals, Luo Nuo remained calm and did not panic at all. Even though these people have died once, then I will let them die again. What an arrogant boy. Are you the evil one? Take my sword. Soon a king, carrying a large sword, came with full force and slashed at Luo Nuo. This is a blow filled with anger. Looking closely, this slash actually has Conqueror's entanglement attached to it. Rubbish! Luo No snorted coldly. With his current strength, Luo no longer takes this kind of general-level attack seriously. Go to hell. Dead man. Wielding the first-generation Kitetsu, a slash several times more terrifying than that of the king, broke through the air. Both the swordsmanship and Conqueror's entanglement contained in the slash were several times stronger than the slash of the king. Bang! The two slashes collided. Luo Nuo's slash engulfed the king's slash and shattered the opponent's sword. That's the power of crushing fruit. Nothing is indestructible, nothing is indestructible. My knife. The king looked incredulous. This is a black sword that has been tempered countless times with domineering power. It was cut off by this kid with one knife. The other 18 kings were also stunned by Luo Nuo's burst of slashing attacks. This guy's strength is really extraordinary. After all, the other kings are very clear about the strength of that king of swords. That knife is a black knife that has been tempered by Conqueror's domineering aura. The blade is extremely hard. But it was cut off by the extremely evil. These 19 kings finally understood why Yim had to pay a price to wake them up this time. The guy named the Evil One is probably much more powerful than any of their kings. This boy is not simple. Come on together. Kill him first. The next moment, all 19 kings took action and surrounded Luo Nuo. The Rocks pirates. Go! Rocks roared, releasing Conqueror's domineering and dark energy. One person faced 3 kings. Rocks, this guy's strength is on par with that of the Evil One. The opponent we met this time seems to be much more difficult than before. The other kings were once again shocked by Rock's strength. Rocks, the Evil One. These two people are too heaven-defying. Even in the Great War 800 years ago, few people had the strength to match these two. Luo Nuo. Be careful. Since you are dead, don't come out to disturb the world. Murakumo's slash. Whitebeard also stepped forward to help immediately. Wielding Kusugawa Kiryai, with Conqueror's entanglement and the power of the earthquake from the tremor fruit attached. The blast was so powerful that the entire Valley of Gods shook. Don't even think about hurting Lord Luo Nuo. You're courting death. The next moment, Kaido no longer cared that his opponent was a general-level warrior. Pick up the mace and find a king. Roger pirates. Attack together. God avoids. Seeing this, Roger also wields the famous sword Ace and leads Rayleigh, Jabba and other elite members of Roger's pirate group. Rush towards the 19 kings. The rest are Golden Lion, Charlotte Linlin, John, Achiku, Silver Axe and others. He didn't care about anything else and started fighting with 19 kings. The Valley of Gods once again fell into a fierce battle. The weather over the Valley of Gods changes dramatically. It seems like the end of the world. For a while, those 19 kings couldn't even be selected from the lineup of the Rocks Pirates and Roger Pirates. Take advantage of any advantage. After all, these are 19 general-level warriors. This is the first time that the 19 kings have encountered such a situation since they awakened. Marine, what are you guys standing there for? Come on. That's right, by killing these bastard pirates, aren't you serving the world government? Seeing that the situation is at a stalemate, the 19 kings said to the top warriors from the Marines, Air Force, Army, and allied nations who were watching the battle. Yes. This is a great opportunity to destroy the Rocks pirates. Prioritize killing Rocks and evildoers. Kong Gang led Garp, Zifa, Sengoku and other generals to join the battle. The Air Force General and Army General on the side. In addition, the top warriors from the member countries are also joining the battle. Rocks, who was not at a disadvantage in the 1v3 match, faced the strong participation of Garp. Immediately fell into disadvantage. Whitebeard, Golden Lion, and Roger all changed from 1v1 to 1v2. The situation is extremely bad. Finally, several general-level warriors rushed into the battlefield, and it immediately became one-sided. The Rock's pirates and Roger's gang are losing ground. It's too fierce. I never thought that the world government has such hidden secrets. 19 kings. They are actually 19 general-level warriors. How terrifying was the huge kingdom that was their opponent 800 years ago. The Rock's pirates and the Roger pirates both looked gloomy at the moment. Many strong men, such as Roger, Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Charlotte Lin-Lin, Silver Axe, Rayleigh, John and others, have been injured. The enemy has too many general-level warriors. Quantitative change has led to qualitative change. Even if they had Rox and Luo Nuo, two powerful overlords, it would still be extremely difficult. Captain Rox, Vice Captain Luo Nuo, what should we do? Should we retreat? At this time, Golden Lion, Achaku and others took advantage of the break in the battle to ask. Since the battle began, the Rox pirates plus Roger's group, a total of several general-level strongmen from the world government were killed, including 4-5 elders, 2 CP0 commander-level generals, and the fleet admiral of the 3 armies. But now the other side suddenly has 19 more general-level warriors. The crowd, who had already consumed a lot of energy, could no longer hold on. Retreat. Fighting any further will only increase the losses. As long as I am still alive, it is only a matter of time before I overthrow the world government. Rox also made a prompt decision at this moment, and prepared to retreat. Yeah, I didn't expect the world government to have such a profound foundation. It seems that next time, we have to be fully prepared. Even if he hated the 19 ancestors of the celestial dragons in front of him, Luo Nuo had to admit that it would be extremely disadvantageous to continue fighting. There is even the possibility of total annihilation. The price is too high. If he were alone, Luo Nuo would fight these people to the death. But Roger, Whitebeard and the others got involved in this war because of me. Especially Roger. The battle in God Valley originally had nothing to do with him. But he treated me as a friend and not only sent me important information. And he led the whole group to help him. Now the adult Tianlong people have suffered heavy casualties, and Roger has played an important role in this. If I had to fight these Tianlong ancestors to the end, I shouldn't involve Roger. No misfortune to friends. This is Luo Nuo's bottom line. If a friend loses his life because of your own personal affairs, Luo Nuo will regret it forever. Retreat. Golden Lion, go and prepare. Luo Nuo gave the order to the Golden Lion. When it comes to retreat, the Golden Lion's floating fruit is the most convenient. Ha! Good. Watch me. The Golden Lion took a deep puff of his cigar and immediately mobilized the demonic power in his body. Half kneeling and touching the ground with your palm, an island of the Valley of Gods began to float into the sky. Now. Go! Charlotte Lin-Lin, Achaku, John, Silver Axe and others quickly jumped onto the floating island. Don't even think about running away. The king, who was fighting against these 4 people, shouted coldly and wanted to chase them. Wait. These guys just ran away. Don't forget our goal. Soon those kings, who tried to chase, were persuaded to come back. All the pirates present can be spared. Only Rox and extremely evil must not be let go. Upon hearing this, the 4 kings, who wanted to give chase, immediately gave up. Turned around and joined the encirclement and suppression war between Rox and Luo Nuo. Hurry up. Captain Rox and I will cover your retreat. Luo Nuo also discovered the targets of these kings, which turned out to be himself and Rox. You can also use this to attract their attention. Help Whitebeard, Roger and the others escape. Stop talking nonsense. Luo Nuo. What will you do if we leave? As soon as we leave, these people will immediately surround and suppress you. Roger and Whitebeard also said worriedly that they were unwilling to leave. After all, once I leave, the general-level warriors that he has pinned down will immediately join the battle to encircle and suppress Luo Nuo. Lord Luo Nuo, let's go together. Kaido was also reluctant to jump onto the floating island. Don't delay. Leave quickly so I can retreat. Do you understand? If we continue to delay, it will only be more disadvantageous. Luo Nu observed the situation on the field. Roger and his group still held back 4 general-level warriors. Whitebeard was in a tough fight 1v2. Kaido was seriously injured, but he was also desperately trying to hold on to a general-level warrior. Of the remaining dozen or so general-level warriors, 4 kings were killed by me and Rox. Even so, the other side still has nearly 20 general-level warriors. A dozen of them were dealing with themselves and Rox. I'm fine. With his physical talent, 3-color god-level domineering power, and 6-style secret technique, God control, can still hold out for a while. Rox is much worse. After all, he doesn't have as much talent as I do. Now Rox is covered in wounds and his breath is gradually weakening. It was the first time that Luo Nu saw Rox so weak. Okay. I got it. Listen to what Luo Nu said. Roger and Whitebeard nodded and started jumping to the Sky Island. Kaido also transformed into a blue dragon and jumped onto the floating island. Concentrate all your strength to strangle Rox and the evil ones. Waiting for them to jump onto the Sky Island, the general-level warriors who were pinned down came to encircle and suppress Rox and Luo Nu. This time, Rox and Luo Nu alone have to deal with nearly 10 general-level warriors. Even Luo Nu and Rox found it a bit overwhelming. Congratulations to the host for picking up power 99999+. Congratulations to the host for picking up a speed of 9999+. Congratulations to the host for picking up 99999+ stamina. A series of prompts sounded, and Luo Nu's 3-dimensional points continued to soar. The physical strength is still in full swing. Not only that, Luo Nu also picked up many interesting moves. But the situation was urgent and Luo Nu couldn't afford to take a closer look. Captain Rox, you retreat first. I'll cover your rear, Luo Nu said to Rox. At this time, Luo Nu and Rox were standing back to back, facing the siege of more than 20 general-level warriors. That scene was like the Battle of Gaixia, surrounded by enemies on all sides. Luo Nu also has complicated feelings towards Rox. The relationship between the two people is one of mutual benefit and mutual trust. More about being both a teacher and a friend. Without Rox, I can't fulfill my wish to kill the celestial dragons. Ha! Luo Nu. I'm afraid that's all. You retreat first. I'll cover your rear. Rox laughed bitterly and looked at Luo Nu, his eyes full of reluctance and unwillingness. Just one step away. Just one step away. You can become the king of the world. Only then did Luo Nu discover it. Rox's body has suffered multiple serious injuries. Even some of the internal organs were shattered. He was still able to fight, relying solely on his extremely strong physique and willpower to hold on. Just like Whitebeard in the Battle of Marineford. Even with half of his head blown off, he can still continue to fight. Remember, Luo Nu, stay alive, and bring down these cowardly Tianlong people. If it's you, I believe you can do it. Go. Rox seemed to be giving Luo Nu his last words. Then he used all his strength to push Luo Nu high into the air with one hand. Chase. We can't let the evil one leave. Today, he will die. 10 general-level warriors chased forward. Get off me. Rox activated the attraction of the dark fruit, unleashing an unprecedented powerful force. He actually sucked back all the 10 powerful generals who were chasing him. What a powerful force. For a moment, all the generals present sighed. Is this the powerful force that a dominant pirate can unleash by burning his vitality? Ha! Come on. The world government is full of idiots. Lousy is a Rox. Rox bursts out with his last vitality. The entire Valley of Gods was plunged into darkness. Dark fruit, awaken form. You still dare to struggle when death is imminent. What a despicable pirate. Kill this bastard first. 19 kings are extremely unhappy. Boom! 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 Slash! Hockey! Taijutsu! 6 styles of secrets. Fruit power! Kicking skills! Almost all the available ones are used. Dozens of general-level warriors launched their strongest attacks towards rocks. The entire Valley of Gods was in trembling. They didn't stop until the aura of the Sea Overlord completely disappeared from their perception. The explosion faded, and Rock's body appeared in front of everyone. Rox did not fall down, but stood proudly in front of many general-level warriors. Still standing. Is he dead? He should be dead. After all, I can't feel his breath anymore. He actually died standing up. After everyone saw Rock's death clearly, they were stunned. Thus, Rox, the Sea Overlord of the generation. Wither and die. P.S. Here comes the third update. The battle in the Valley of the Gods is basically coming to an end. It will almost be over tomorrow, and then we will enter the original storyline. I have read all the concerns expressed by the elder brothers. Don't worry, brothers, the protagonist will not lick anyone. The protagonist only does things that are beneficial to the goal of killing all the celestial dragons. Going back to the original timeline, you will get everything you need. There will be no shortage of crew members who need to be recruited. See you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock sharp. Captain Rox? Dead? Will we disband? Damn you, King! Damn you, Marine! Damn you, world government! We are just one step away from overthrowing the world government. At the same time, the Rox pirates are floating in the sky. After seeing Rock's death, I couldn't help but sigh. Some even cried out loud, some even burst into tears. Although most of them are ambitious guys. The reason for getting together is just because of an opportunity to make a fortune. Originally, there was no affection between them, they were just using each other. But after being together for so long, it is inevitable that there are still some feelings. Especially since Luo Nua joined the Rox Pirates. Greatly enhanced the cohesion of the Rox Pirates. These great pirates saw the possibility of overthrowing the world government and becoming new gods. It turns out that Golden Lion, Achiku, Silveraxe, John, Charlotte Lin and others who often work without putting in any effort. I also gradually developed a sense of belonging to the Rox Pirates. In the recent operations there has been no slacking off or backstabbing. Instead, they tried their best. The Rox Pirates are no longer the same as in the original work. The disunited pirate group. Fortunately, Vice Captain Luo Nua is fine. This way, our pirate group will not disband. The Golden Lion took a deep puff of his cigar and looked for Luo Nua in the air. At this time, Luo Nua was using Moonwalk from the Marine 6 styles to catch up. It can be considered a successful retreat. Before Captain Rox died, he threw Vice Captain Luo Nua into the sky with force. After hearing what Golden Lion said, the sadness in the hearts of the Rox Pirates was alleviated a little. Fortunately, Vice Captain Luo Nua is here, so this pirate group will not disband. Come back and kill me when the time comes. The world government must pay for its blood debt with blood. Golden Lion, go pick up Luo Nua. Whitebeard instructed Golden Lion. I know, I would do the same without you telling me. Immediately, the Golden Lion controlled the floating island and prepared to go and meet Luo Nua. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the power of the devil, the dark fruit. At the moment Rox died, Luo Nua's system also sent a prompt. The demonic power of the dark fruit was picked up by himself. Based on the functional explanation of the system. Only after the ability user dies can you pick up the devil's power. It seems that Captain Rox is indeed dead. Don't worry, Captain Rox. I will fulfill your last wish. I will kill all those Tianlong people on the altar. Leave no one behind. Luo Nua rode Moonwalk to the island that had been floated up by the Golden Lion. Recalling the time for retreat that Rox bought for himself with his life. Luo Nua looked down at the Valley of Gods and made up his mind. Celestial Dragon! You don't die! Even if one person is still alive! I will never give up! At the same time, after killing Rox, Several kings actually put Rock's body directly into a coffin. I don't know what these people are going to do with Rock's body. After doing all this, the 20 or so general-level warriors below immediately began to look for Luo Nuo. I see. The evil one. Over there. We must not let him get away. The kings below, as well as the strong men of the Marine, Army, Air Force, and allied nations. Soon, Luo Nuo was spotted. Chase. The next moment, except for Kong, Sengoku, Zephyr, and Garp, who were almost exhausted, there were only a few Admiral-level warriors. The remaining 20 or so general-level warriors all used moonwalk and their own unique flying abilities. Soared into the sky. Damn you bastards! Are you still not willing to give up the pursuit? Captain Rox is dead. Everyone on the floating island noticed this immediately. Nearly 20 generals began to chase after Vice Captain Luo Nuo. Damn it! Golden Lion. Hurry up. We can't let them catch up. Whitebeard hurriedly urged, extremely anxious. Captain Rox is dead. Luo Nuo must not die again. Hurry up. Speed up. Speed up. Roger was also extremely anxious. Don't come pick me up. They can't catch up with me. At this moment, Luo Nuo suddenly shouted to Whitebeard, Roger, Golden Lion and others. My speed has already reached the limit of human beings. Without the fruit ability bonus, there will definitely be no one faster than you. After all, so many speed attributes are not picked up for nothing. Even the system panel displays your own strength, speed, and physical attributes. No longer super general level, but overlord level. In today's world, I'm afraid that apart from the Pika Pika Nomi and the Thunder Nomi, 2 other Logia users can keep up with my speed. In terms of speed, no one can catch up with me. The next moment, everyone saw that Luo Nuo's moonwalk was indeed extremely fast. Soon they distanced themselves from the many pursuers. Huh. In that case, let's not cause trouble for Luo Nuo. Seeing this scene, Roger breathed a sigh of relief and felt relieved. Retreat. Boys. The Golden Lion laughed loudly and manipulated the floating island to prepare for retreat. Damn you, evil one. You're so fast. The kings, who were chasing below, as well as several powerful generals under the jurisdiction of the world government. I am also sighing at this moment. If we continue like this, we won't be able to catch up. In that case, let's just wipe out the crew and companions of the evil ones. Doesn't he care about those companions? Aim directly at that floating island in the sky. At this moment, the oldest among the kings, who looked nearly 100 years old, spoke. The next moment, everyone suddenly understood. That's right. We can use this to attract the extremely evil people. Soon, these 20-odd generals and strong men immediately changed their route. Rushed to the floating island where Whitebeard, Roger and the others were. The floating speed of the island is naturally not as fast as those of the general-level warriors. It only takes a few minutes. More than 20 general-level warriors surrounded the entire floating island. Extremely evil. Don't you care about these companions? In that case, just watch them die in front of you. Blow this island down for me. The centenarian looked as if he was giving orders. Immediately, these 20 or so general-level warriors mobilized their momentum. Boom! 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 At that moment, 20 terrifying moves of great generals suddenly appeared. Lights up the entire sky. You bastard! How dare you touch my friend? You're looking for death. At this time, Luo Nuo also discovered the whereabouts of the 20 general-level warriors. Instead of chasing him, they targeted the floating island where Roger and Whitebeard were. Do you want to use this trick to force yourself into submission? Although I know this is the other party's conspiracy. But when it comes to his friend's life or death, Luo Nuo can't just ignore it. Whoosh! Like an arrow shot from a bow, Luo Nuo approached the floating island at high speed. Ha! Evildoer! You are here after all. Your friend is dead. You will also be buried here today, to commemorate the souls of our descendants. Seeing Luo Noa's rapid attack, more than a dozen kings shouted in triumph and anger. Almost all of his descendants died at the hands of extremely evil people. If he doesn't die today, this war will never end. Luo Noa, don't come over here. Take advantage of this opportunity. Run away. Seeing Luo Noa rushing over, Whitebeard, Roger, and even Kaido quickly warned him. Now the 20 kings are targeting me and my group. Luo Noa can take this opportunity to leave. What nonsense are you talking about? You've done enough. How can I let you sacrifice for me again? You bastards of the world government. Your target is me. Come on. Then come and kill me. Luo Noa shouted angrily and came to the bottom of the floating island. Facing these 20 general-level warriors, the body's aura has been mobilized to the extreme. The overwhelming conqueror's domineering power directly disrupted the weather. Ha! Extremely evil. You will die today. Kill him. At this moment, the 100-year-old king gave an order. 20 general-level warriors surrounded Luo Noa. Boom! 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 20 great generals launched their moves. Congratulations to the host for picking up power 9999 plus. Congratulations to the host for picking up a speed of 9999 plus. Congratulations to the host for picking up 9999 plus stamina. 6 styles, maximization, God control. The next moment, Luo Noa burst out with terrifying momentum. God-level armament hockey plus the physical talent of the iron balloon. He took all the attacks from these 20 people. Spit out a mouthful of blood. Several ribs were broken. But such an injury is not a big deal for Luo Noa. If I defend with all my strength, I should be able to delay for 10 minutes. Buy enough time for Whitebeard, Roger, and others to leave. What kind of monster is this guy? 20 powerful generals' attacks were unable to kill him. Kings and the general-level powerful men of the world government. I was also shocked by Luo Noa's defense. Even Rox, the overlord of the sea, was killed when he was besieged by 10 powerful generals. The full-force attacks of 20 general-level warriors were not enough to kill the evil one. Not even a serious injury. How terrifying is his strength. Such a scary guy. No wonder him woke up his group. Damn it. Forget it. Go help Lord Luo Noa. Seeing this, Whitebeard, Roger, Kaido, and others stepped forward to help. Stop it, everyone. Take advantage of this time to escape. They're targeting me. Luo Noa hurriedly stopped Whitebeard, Roger, and others. As long as you delay long enough, you can buy time to escape. Humph, you all must die. Keep killing. Kill the evil one in one go. 20 general-level warriors once again launched a terrifying attack. The sky roared and the thunderclouds exploded. It feels like the world is about to end. The king's secret technique, destroying a nation. Especially those dozen kings, their moves were combined into one move. The combined skills of more than a dozen kings. Regardless of the range, power, or spirit, they are all extremely powerful. The feeling it gives people. It seems like it can devour an island into powder in an instant. No, even if there are 4 or 5 of them, they can be blown to ashes. Just like the legendary ancient weapon, it's so powerful. After all, these dozen kings had experienced a protracted war 800 years ago. They have already developed a good understanding of joint skills. You can actually perform such a move. These guys. They're horrible. This is the power of the kings 800 years ago. The people on the floating island were all in disbelief when they saw this terrifying move. The ultimate energy contained in that move. Even Whitebeard and Roger were terrified. Hurry up. It will be too late if you don't leave now. Luo Noa shouted angrily, almost scolding. Luo Noa also felt the horror of this move. Let's go. In the end, Roger and Whitebeard finally faced reality. Ready to leave. It's not that they don't want to help Luo Noa, but that's the reality. With their strength, they face 20 general-level warriors. Even if we go to help, it will only be a drop in the bucket. Even the whole army will be wiped out. Since Luo Nuo has already realized it. As a friend, we cannot waste the opportunity that Luo Nuo fought for with his precious life. Never question a man's determination. If you insist on staying here, it would be a waste of Luo Nuo's life. This is not what Luo Nuo intended. Well, Vice Captain Lono. Goodbye. The Golden Lion's eyes also drooped, and he said resignedly, "It was a really nice trip." The Golden Lion controlled the floating island and left. Captain Luo Nuo. Goodbye. Is this the end of the Rocks Pirates? Vice Captain Luo Nuo. Lord Luo Nuo. I will definitely avenge you. Many members of the Rocks Pirates started crying. Even the captains Charlotte Linlin, John, Silveraxe, and Achaku were secretly wiping their tears. Kaido burst into tears. In one day, the captain and the deputy captain were almost dead. The Rocks Pirates are falling apart. Even Whitebeard, Roger shed tears. This distance should be safe enough. 20 great generals? Even if I really die, I won't let you guys have an easy life. At least, the strong men from these world government member countries must die. Luo Nuo looked at the island that was floating farther and farther away. Then he looked back at the combined attack of the 19 kings. My heart is broken. Congratulations to the host for successfully picking up the king's secret skill, destroying a country. The next moment, Luo Nuo drew out his sword, first-generation Kitetsu. For a moment, ghostly spirits were everywhere and thunder roared. The final fusion technique. I have to use up all my domineering energy and physical strength in one breath. At least we have to kill those Air Force and Army generals as well as the general-level strongmen of the allied countries. Boom! 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 Face the king's secret technique, destroying the nation. Luo Nuo remained calm, determined to die. Attach the god-level conqueror's haki to the first-generation Kitetsu. Next moment, countless heroes' unique skills emerged in Luo Nuo's mind. Iron Fist, Slashing Wave, Kirin, Lion Thousand Slice Valley, Kusugakumo Slash, Kitetsu Iajuku, God Avoidance, Mountain Breaking, God Slayer Shattering Mountains and Rivers. Combined with the king's secret skill I just picked up, Destroying a Country. And the 4 major fruit abilities. Strength, Smash, Burn and Dark Fruit. All merged. Swing the knife out. Kill the gods and destroy the world. Luo Nuo's sword intent and aura are so amazing. This is to buy us the last bit of time. Even though the distance is far enough. Whitebeard, Roger, Golden Lion, Rayleigh, Charlotte Linlin and others still felt the overwhelming aura emanating from Luo Nuo. For a moment, he was actually competing with the momentum of 20 general-level warriors. Not afraid at all. Captain Luo Nuo is doing the same thing as Captain Rocks. He is burning his own life. Only then can such a terrifying momentum burst out. John, Achaku, Silveraxe and others also murmured, recalling Captain Rox's momentum before his death. Exactly the same as Vice Captain Luo Nuo. This is a determination to die. However, Vice Captain Luo Nuo's aura was even more powerful than Captain Rox. Humph, you still want to struggle before you die? To fight against gods with a mortal body? You are overestimating yourself. A mere ant wants to shake a big tree? It's really ugly, evil culprit. Seeing that Luo Nuo has not given up resistance, facing the king's secret technique, destroying the country. Still thinking of fighting? The 19 kings couldn't help but sneer. An ant trying to shake a tree, a mantis trying to stop a chariot. A little, evil man. Still dreaming of fighting against God? This guy really has no self-awareness. However, when Luo Nuo's sword energy that was powerful enough to shake the heaven and earth suddenly appeared, the expressions of these 19 kings and several other general-level powerful men under the jurisdiction of the world government. Sudden change! What's going on? What's going on with this terrifying sword intent? Boom! Boom! A force that shook the heavens and the earth emanated from Luo Nuo's first-generation Kitetsu. The thunder and fire from heaven and earth seemed to be integrated into the tip of the knife. The feeling given to the 20 general-level strongmen present was like, "Nothing is indestructible, nothing is indestructible. Kill the gods and destroy the world." The next moment, Luo Nuo swung out the first-generation Kitetsu. Release all the conqueror's domineering and physical strength in your body. This final blow must make the opponent pay the price. Boom! A plain white silk flew out. The next moment, the white silk suddenly transformed into a giant blue-eyed dragon nearly 10,000 meters long. The dragon's body was wrapped in dark red and surging conqueror's domineering aura. In addition, raging thunder entangles the dragon. The eerie ghostly aura only added to the dragon's already extremely powerful sense of oppression. Combined with the 4 demonic powers of crush, fire, strength, and darkness, this giant dragon gives people the feeling that nothing in the world can be broken. Boom! The next moment, the giant dragon and the 20 general-level warriors' moves collided. At the first moment, the powerful moves of the generals of the Air Force, Army and allied countries were displayed. It was directly torn to pieces by the dragon. Vulnerable. Only 19 kings united to use the secret skill of the king, destroying the country, and roaring and fighting with the dragon. Boom! Boom! 2 powerful forces collided in the air. Burst out extreme energy. In a split second, the energy suddenly exploded. Instantly devoured all 19 kings, Luo Nuo, and the general-level strongmen under the world government. An energy light ball the size of an island with a diameter of tens of thousands of meters was directly formed in the sky. It looks like a small sun hanging in the sky. Boom! Boom! As if there was a nuclear explosion, the entire sky began to tremble. In the extreme energy explosion, explosions continued to occur again and again. Like a nuclear reactor on the surface of the sun. Exploding all the time. Click! Click! I don't know how long the explosion lasted. Something seemed to shatter in the center of the ball of light. Next, the core of the energy light ball. Suddenly, a powerful attraction appeared, instantly pulling everyone in. Whether it's the 19 kings, or the great generals of the world government, or Luo Nuo, they were all swallowed up by this powerful attraction. What the hell is going on? The extreme gravity made even Luo Nuo dizzy. I just felt like I was in a large washing machine, my body spinning constantly. There was a buzzing sound in my ears, and I couldn't tell the direction, let alone where I was at the moment. The perception of observation hockey. The aura of strong people kept disappearing around. 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, the auras of the Air Force, Army, and 2 allied countries' generals disappeared. Then, the 19 kings disappeared one by one. Finally, it seemed as if only silence remained. Luo Nuo's observation hockey can no longer sense any aura. Silent and dead silent. There was only a whistling sound of wind passing by my ears. Remind Luo Nuo that he seems to be still alive. Everyone is dead. What about me? Am I dead too? The violent shaking of his body gave Luo Nuo a terrible headache, and he couldn't open his eyes at all. I can only whisper in my sleep. In fact, the attack just now by Luo Nuo and the 20 general-level warriors was too terrifying. The space was directly torn apart, and everyone was drawn into the space-time tunnel. It's just that other people's bodies simply can't withstand the turbulence of this space-time tunnel. It was directly crushed into powder. The same goes for the 4 great general-level warriors. Even the corpses of the 19 kings were crushed into powder, disappeared without a trace. Only Luo Nuo, with his extreme physical strength and terrifying iron balloon talent, he has remained safe and sound. I can only drift with the turbulence of time and space, not knowing where I will flow to. At the same time, above the Valley of Gods, people on the floating island. At this moment, everyone's faces were extremely solemn. The almost godlike explosion just now has disappeared. Then, Whitebeard, Roger, Golden Lion and others were surprised to find out. Luo Noa is missing. Not just Luo Noa. Those generals from the Air Force and Army allied countries. There are 19 more kings. All gone. All disappeared without a trace. The observation hockey can't sense the existence of these people at all. It was as if the scene just now had never happened. Everything seems like a dream. On the ground, Kong-gu, Garp, Sengoku, and Zifa were also staring at this scene in a daze. Weird. So weird. What is going on? How come everyone disappeared? Not even a drop of slag fell off. Could it be that they were all crushed into atomic-level cells by the horrific explosion just now? Even if they can no longer understand it. That's the only way to understand it. Everyone was crushed into dust. Luo Nu alone caused 20 general-level warriors to be buried with him. Is this the power that the Evil One unleashes with his life? 20 great generals were buried with him. But anyway, it's finally solved. Thinking of this, Kong-gu, Zhangguo, Garp and others all breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, it's finally over. Rox, the Evil One, both died. But the price is not cheap. For 5 elders, plus 2 CP generals, and the total fleet admiral of the 3 armies. In addition, there are Air Force and Army generals and strong men from allied countries. The corpses of these kings have also been shattered, and I don't know if they will ever be able to wake up again. Valley of God. How about us? How are we going to clean up the mess? He looked around the God Valley Island. Gang Gukong suddenly discovered. The entire island is completely barren, just like at the beginning of creation. The Emerald City, as well as some buildings and greenery on the island, were destroyed beyond repair. The Valley of the Gods is filled with the corpses of Marines and pirates. Some people did not die but were knocked unconscious. After all, dozens of generals participated in the epic battle just now. The Conqueror's domineering aura alone is enough to stun all the strong men below the rank of general. Even the elite lieutenant generals. Crane, Sakaski, Kazan, Borsellino, Dragon and many more. They were all shocked and passed out. The only people still standing in the entire Valley of Gods were Kong Gang and his group of 4. As for the celestial dragons, nearly all of the 2,000 or so of them were killed. Only a small number of lucky celestial dragons escaped in the first place. As for the slaves, they were all affected by the battle just now and died. It's impossible for the 4 of us to do it. I'm afraid we can only wait for someone from the government to come. Zhangguo also smiled bitterly. My strength is almost exhausted. The aftermath of the war was so great that even usable communication equipment no longer existed on the island. I don't know how long it will take for someone to find out. So many Marines died for those rubbish celestial dragons. Is all this worth it? Garp burst into tears. The Marines suffered heavy casualties in this battle. 100,000 elite soldiers drawn from all over the world were almost completely wiped out. Most of the crew members of the Rox pirates also died here. This time, Gangakong also rarely stopped Garp. After all, there are not many people on the island now, so just say it. Someone is coming! At this moment, suddenly, Zifa's observation hockey sensed someone approaching. The next moment, 5 middle-aged men in medieval armor appeared in the Valley of Gods. There are still people alive! This is beyond my expectation. It's Marine. So, these 4 are the only ones alive? The 5 people were slightly startled when they saw the figures of Kong Gongu and his group of 4. But his expression soon returned to normal. The Knights of God! Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, and Cyborg Sora also recognized the outfit immediately. The Knights of God, a knight order directly under God. In terms of status, it is even higher than the Marine. Since you are not dead, leave here quickly. In 5 minutes, the entire Valley of the Gods will sink into the sea. A man said with a smile. What? What does this mean? There are still many Marine soldiers alive here. Are you going to sink them with you? Upon hearing this, Garp, Sengoku, Zephyr, and Kong Gukong immediately refuted harshly. He, Kazan, Sakaski and others were still alive, but just fainted. If we sink them to the bottom of the sea, won't these people with special abilities be dead? Haha, this is the order from the new 5 elders. The Valley of the Gods will be completely wiped off the map. This war will also be erased from history. Rocks, the existence of extremely evil, needs to be wiped out. Marine, do you want to disobey orders? The other man raised his voice in a more threatening tone. 5 elders! Hearing this, several people were stunned on the spot. 5 elders just died, and now new 5 elders have appeared. I don't care about your 5 elders. The Valley of Gods must not sink now. Garp stood up and looked at the 5 people fearlessly. Whether it's for the living marine, or his own son Long, it is impossible for them to sink the Valley of Gods into the sea now. You! Another person was about to attack but was stopped by the remaining people. After all, these people also know the strength of Garp, Kong Zi and others. They are all general-level warriors. In the future, the world government under his rule will also need Marine's face to maintain the balance of the world. Okay, in that case I'll give you 1 day. After 1 day, no matter what you say, the Valley of God must sink. After saying these 2 words condescendingly, the 5 people left. Only Garp, Cyborg, Sengoku, Zephyr and others were left there gritting their teeth. We should leave too. What a pity it was just a little bit short. I witnessed an epic battle. In the dark of the Valley of God, Burndy-Wald, Qingjiao also left with a sigh. They are not capable of participating in such a war. But I am lucky enough to witness it with my own eyes. The evil one, a man who sacrificed himself to protect his friend. What a pity! The Red Earl also turned and left at this moment, mumbling something, looking thoughtful. 1 day later. On a floating island far away from the Valley of the Gods. The huge floating island was unusually quiet at the moment. There seemed to be sadness in the air. Everyone seemed to be trapped in a dream and did not want to wake up. In the end, it was the Golden Lion who spoke first. Captain Rox and Vice Captain Luo Nu are both dead. This is reality. It's time for the Rox pirates to disband. I'm going to form my own pirate group and go it alone. How about it, Whitebeard, Silveraxe, Achaku, Charlotte Linlin, John, are you interested in joining me? Golden Lion broke the silence and spoke to everyone. Who wants to fight with a stinking lion like you? It's so embarrassing. That's right. You are far inferior to Captain Rox and Vice Captain Luo Nuo. Get away, you damn lion! Achaku, John, Silveraxe, and Charlotte Linlin immediately sneered. You bastards, do you want to fight? Golden Lion felt embarrassed and rolled up his sleeves to threaten. Ha ha! Come on! Who's afraid of who? That's right! Lousy is so angry that he has no place to vent. Damn lion! You're looking for death. John, Silveraxe, Achaku, and Charlotte Linlin beat up the Golden Lion immediately. Soon the Golden Lion's face swelled up like a pig's head. Without the suppression of Rox and Luo Nuo, the monsters of the Rox pirates have returned to their previous way of getting along. What a troublesome bunch of guys. I don't have time to waste here with you guys. I'm leaving. I want to form my own pirate group. I want to inherit Lord Luo Nuo's will. I will start a war so huge that it will involve the entire world. I will destroy this world. At this moment, Kaido seemed to have figured it out. Suddenly perk up. Lord Luo Nuo is dead. But I am still alive. I am the embodiment of Lord Luo Nuo's will. Kaido felt that he had found his life goal. Destroy this world. Goodbye. Everyone from the Rox Pirates. Next time we meet, we may be enemies. Kaido laughed and turned into a blue dragon, leaving the floating island directly. Damn it! How can Kaido run so fast? I still want to win him over. The Golden Lion, whose face was swollen like a pig's head, was speechless when he saw Kaido's departing back. Then he turned his face to Whitebeard. How about you, do you want to come with us, Whitebeard? If we join forces, we can definitely give the world government a headache. The Golden Lion invites you very sincerely. No! You play by yourself? Whitebeard flatly rejected the Golden Lion. He was very sad about Luo Noa's death. After all, Luo Noa was the only partner he regarded as a friend in the Rocks Pirates. I witnessed my family members die in front of me. I need time to heal. Captain Roger, don't be sad. Although Luo Noa is dead, we are still alive. He used his life to buy us precious time to retreat. He didn't mean for you to be immersed in sorrow forever. Yes, you are the captain. What should we do if you do this? At this time, Rayleigh, Jabba, Bullet, and others came to the sad Roger and comforted him. Okay, I understand. Roger nodded and wiped away his tears. Yes, I have a group of friends. Still have great ambitions. If only Luo Noa knew that he had been immersed in sorrow. I'm afraid he'll be angry too. Then let's start a new adventure. Go find the truth about this world. Let's turn this world upside down. Roger is full of energy again. Why is there crying? At this moment, a cadre of Roger's pirate group suddenly heard crying. Then they followed the crying sound and found two babies. The characteristics of both are very obvious. One has a red nose and the other has red hair. Oh? Two babies. It's really strange. Isn't this island the land of the Valley of Gods? How could there be a baby here? Everyone in Roger's pirate group exclaimed. Could these two children be the reincarnations of Rox and Luo Noa? Roger said in surprise after seeing the baby. It's impossible to reincarnate so quickly, idiot. Rayleigh rolled her eyes at Roger. But I felt relieved. With this stupidity, Roger should have come out of his sadness. Afterwards, everyone said goodbye to each other and started a new journey. Time flies. In the era after the death of Rox, the extremely evil Luo Noa, the conflict in the pirate world intensifies. The disbandment of the Rocks Pirates has resulted in hordes of monsters being released. Achaku, John, Silver Axe, Charlotte Lin and others each established a pirate group and became famous. Kaido, the King of Beasts, is beginning to gain fame. The glory of Red Earl, Green Pepper, and Bernie Wald will no longer be overshadowed by Rocks and Luo Noa. Compared to the Great Pirate Era, this era is more primitive, more cruel, and more bloody. In this era where only true pirates can survive, a total of 3 great pirates stand out. They have become the 3 peaks standing tall in the post-Rocks and Luo Noa era. They are Flying Admiral Golden Lion Shiki, Edward Newgate with the white beard, and GOLD, Roger. As for Red Earl Redfield, although he is very powerful, his individual combat capability is not even inferior to Golden Lion, Whitebeard, and Roger. But he is ultimately just a one-man group. The battle between the 3 heroes lasted for several years. Finally, it came to an end in the year 1498 of the Hyuan calendar. This year, GOLD, Roger completed the feat of circumnavigating the Grand Line. Conquered the Grand Line. So it is honored by the world as one piece. Before leaving, Roger's words attracted people from all over the world. Do you want my treasure? If you want it, go find it. I put all my treasures there. From now on, the Great Pirate Era has arrived. 22 years after the Great Pirate Era began. The Sabaody Archipelago is located at the dividing point between the Grand Route and the New World. Due to its special geographical location, the Grand Line and the New World are separated by the Red Earth continent. All the pirates who aim for One Piece want to go to the New World. It is necessary to stop in the Sabaody Islands to complete the coating of the boat. Then you can take a boat to the next stop, the 10,000-meter deep Fishman Island. Enter the New World from Fishman Island. For all pirates aiming for One Piece, the Sabaody Archipelago is a must-go place. And this year seems to be a very special year. The newcomers in the pirate world have experienced a blowout this year. At the same time, 11 supernovas with bounties exceeding 100 million yuan gathered in Sabaody Archipelago. They all aim for One Piece and prepare to enter the New World here. Challenge the 4 emperors of the New World. Sabaody Archipelago, Area 1, No Man's Land. Population Auction House. There are so many people here, the seats are packed. Even the pirate supernova Eustace Kid arrived late, and couldn't find a seat. He could only lead his pirate group members and stand at the door. On the other hand, the Straw Hat Pirates, one of the supernovas, is the same as the Kid Pirates. Arrived late and couldn't find a seat. You can only stand in the open space behind the last row of seats. Only another supernova, Trafalgar Law, arrived early and found a good position. The reason why the Straw Hat Pirates came this time is also very simple. Because their friend, the mermaid Kimmy, was captured by human traffickers. In order to save Kimmy, they came to the human auction site. However, the auction venue was unusually quiet at this time. The air seemed to have condensed. Because 3 hooded celestial dragons suddenly appeared at the human auction site. Even their pet dog wore a hood. These 3 celestial dragons are exactly the same 3 people in the original novel: Rosita, Chalos, and Chalila Palace. Saint Roswald was lucky enough to survive the battle in the Valley of the Gods. Saint Charlos and Palace of Charlilia were underage or even not born at that time. I had no idea that the Battle of God Valley existed. The 3 celestial dragons walked straight to the VIP seats in the first row of the venue and sat down. At this moment, the situation suddenly changed. There was a loud bang. Everyone just felt as if something fell from the sky. The house at the auction venue was smashed through. The ground was also smashed through. Smash it into the shape of a person. What just happened? Did anything fall? Look at the shape. Is it someone who fell down? I think I can see clearly that it's a man. Everyone at the auction venue was frightened by the noise. Several people who were nearby ran to the broken ground to take a look. Suddenly, I discovered that a deep pit had been smashed into the ground. At least several thousand meters deep. It was pitch dark in the pit, and there was nothing to see. It can create such a deep hole. How high did it fall from? If this is a human, it's probably dead. It can't be a human. How could a human dig such a deep hole? Everyone said they couldn't understand this sudden situation at all. Ahem, dear nobles. Please don't be affected by such a small incident. The auction is our highlight. After the auction is over, I will arrange for someone to conduct an investigation. Disco, the host of the human auction, saw that the noble's attention was being diverted. He quickly spoke and pulled it back. Seeing the arrival of the celestial dragons, Disco realized that this was a good opportunity to make a fortune. So we quickly pushed out today's rare item, Murloc Kemi. Sure enough, as soon as the mermaid appeared, everyone's attention was immediately drawn back. Wow, it's a Murloc! It's been a long time since I saw a Murloc. I want to see who is faster, the fishman or the whale shark. Father! I want to buy it. I want to buy it. Sure enough, after seeing the beautiful mermaid, St. Charlos began to dance with joy. The big snot on the nose kept swinging back and forth, looking very funny. The host Disco did not dare to delay, and quickly announced that the auction had begun. Good! We have 200 million Baileys! We must redeem Kemi! Nami, the navigator of the Straw Hat Pirates, holds an auction card. Ambitious. But Nami didn't have long to feel proud. Then, sitting in the first row, Charles Saint didn't even bother to hold up his sign. He stretched out his big hand and spread out his 5 fingers. 500 million Baileys! Suddenly, no one present dared to speak. Everyone was shocked. As expected of a celestial dragon. The first thing he said was 500 million Baileys. How enviable! After all, there is a lot of money from heaven for them to spend every year. 500 million belly is just a drop in the bucket for the celestial dragons. At this moment, the Straw Hat Pirates were also stunned. 500 million Baileys. To the celestial dragons, it might just be a few keys in their pockets. But for the Straw Hat Pirates, it is an astronomical figure. I can't afford it at all. What should I do? What should I do? All members of the Straw Hat Pirates panicked. Just at this moment. Boom! The roof of the auction venue. A flying fish motorcycle broke through the roof and fell into the center of the venue. Then, A 17-year-old boy wearing a straw hat, a blue vest and shorts stood up. It is none other than Luffy, one of the supernovas and the boy with a bounty of 300 million berries. Next to him stood a man with green hair, wearing a belly band and 3 knives on his waist. Surprisingly, this is also a supernova, Zoro, a pirate hunter with a bounty of 120 million berries. Where's Cammy? Where's Cammy? As soon as Luffy rushed into the auction venue, he began to watch. Soon he spotted the fisherman Cammy in the center of the auction venue. I found you, Kimmy! Luffy didn't care about that, and rushed directly towards Cammy. Wait, Luffy, stop messing around! Seeing this, Octopus Xiaoba rushed over to stop it. In the midst of the panic, Octopus Hachi revealed his fishman identity. Murloc! Murlocs appear on land! How disgusting! There are so many hands! I heard they have an infectious disease, stay away from them. You monster! Go back to Fishman Island and don't come to the human island! The nobles avoided him as if he were the god of plague. Oh? There are Murlocs? Hear a voice from behind. St. Charles turned his head immediately and found Octopus Hachi. It's a fishman! St. Charles was like a pervert seeing a beautiful woman, and immediately raised the diamond-studded pistol in his hand. Load, aim, and pulled the trigger. Bang! The gunshot rang out, and Octopus Xiaoba immediately fell in a pool of blood. Hachi! Luffy was also stunned. Unexpectedly, Xiaoba was knocked down, so I hurried over to check his wound. Father! I caught the mermaid! I caught the mermaid! It's free! It doesn't cost any money! I'm very capable! Free octopus! Free octopus! At this time, St. Charles was so excited that the fat on his face began to bounce. Just shoot! World Noble Celestial Dragon! How lucky! This way I won't be infected. Great! The octopus is finally going to die! This scene also made the surrounding nobles breathe a sigh of relief. Kid and Luo looked like they were watching a show. After all, they had heard the rumors about Straw Hat Boy Luffy. This guy is a complete lunatic. I wonder what the Straw Hat Boy would do in this situation. They were very curious. But soon they knew the answer. Luffy stood up, looking angry, staring at St. Charles. Luffy, don't do that! Before coming, we had agreed on this. No, you can't attack the celestial dragons. Xiao Hachi below was still holding Luffy tightly, fearing that he would do something terrible. But Hachi couldn't stop Luffy at all. You lowly fellow, what do you want to do? St. Charles was also stunned after seeing Luffy's actions, and then said unhappily, How dare some untouchables look directly at me? This is a challenge to the authority of the celestial dragons. St. Charles raised his gun and pointed it at Luffy. Bang! A shot was fired, but Luffy dodged it easily. Charles was stunned for a moment, then fired a second shot, which was still dodged. At this moment, Luffy rushed towards St. Charles angrily, raising his fist. At the same time, under the auction venue. Finally woke up, it seems I'm not dead yet. Luo Nu woke up and felt a little sore all over. It will be better if you move around a little. Carefully recall the last scene of the Battle of God Valley. In the final blow of God Valley, he used all his strength and domineering power to strike back. Then he was pulled into a certain space by a powerful attraction. It seems to be in the turbulence of time and space. Then he took a nap and recovered some of his strength, allowing him to escape from the turbulence of time and space. I just don't know where I am now. Then Luo Nu looked around and saw darkness. With a thought, he activated the power of the flame fruit, illuminating the surroundings. Did I fall to the ground? After seeing his surroundings clearly, Luo Nu reacted. For Luo Nu, the Battle of God Valley seems to have happened yesterday. I don't know what timeline I've traveled to now. Is Roger dead? Was Whitebeard killed by Marine? How are the Rocks pirates? Go check it out. Thinking of this, Luo Nu stood up. At this moment, A chirping sound came from the cave above. Is there someone up there? Then we just need to go up. Luo No's observation Haki sensed many auras above. Well, they are just some pitifully weak auras, there is no danger. Pull out the first generation Kitetsu. Boom! Swing the sword. A huge sword energy penetrated directly from underground to the surface. A road was opened from underground to the surface. At the same time, the sword energy rushed to the ground. Before Luffy could throw a punch, he just happened to cut St. Charlos in half. The blood turned into mist and scattered around. Immediately, St. Charlos' body split into two parts and fell heavily to the ground. What's going on? What happened? Was that sword energy just now? St. Charlos. He seems to have been hacked to death. Looking at this huge noise that suddenly came out from the ground, everyone was stunned. Look at the body of St. Charlos on the ground again. Celestial Dragon, dead? The Celestial Dragon is dead? Looking at the body of St. Charlos broken into two pieces on the ground, everyone in the auction venue was stunned. Everyone from the Straw Hat Pirates, everyone from the Heart Pirates, everyone from the Kid Pirates. The mouth has become an O shape. The other nobles were also filled with astonishment, and could not believe their eyes. Nanny! I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to beat him up. Even Luffy was shocked. I clearly didn't have time to throw a punch. How come the Tianlong people were hacked to death? Also, what was that slash that appeared on the ground just now? What a terrifying sword energy! Who on earth emitted it? The two sword-wielding warriors, Zoro and Luo, were sweating profusely. The sword energy that just slashed out from the ground. The sword intent above is so strong and the swordsmanship is so superb. They have never seen it. Especially Zoro, he is different from Law. He is a professional swordsman, and can understand the horror of that slash just now. He had also fought against Hawkeye, the world's greatest swordsman. Now I have grown a lot. Even Hawkeye's sword energy wasn't as terrifying as it was just now. Is there a swordsman in this world who is stronger than Hawkeye? How is that possible? Zoro! That wasn't the sword energy you used just now. Nami, Chopper, Frankie and others on the side looked at Zoro at the same time. In their opinion, the only person who could unleash such sword energy was probably Zoro. What are you looking at me for? I wish I could emit this kind of sword energy. That sword energy may be stronger than Hawkeye. Zoro also quickly denied it, saying in a serious tone. What? Stronger than Hawkeye? Are you serious? Zoro! Hawkeye is the best swordsman in the world. How could someone have a stronger strike than him? When Zoro said this, all the Straw Hat Pirates were stunned. Especially Nami, Sanji, and Usopp. They have witnessed the duel between Zoro and Hawkeye. Hawkeye easily killed Zoro with a knife. A guy stronger than Hawkeye. How powerful is that? Kira, what was that just now? How does it compare to you? Eustace Kid, the captain of the Kid Pirates and one of the Supernovas, looked at his second-in-command with cold sweat. Kira, the Killer Warrior, is also one of the Supernovas and a swordsman. Don't look down on me, kid. With my current strength, I can't block that move just now. It's impossible to stop it even if we put all our strength together. Kira was also sweating profusely under the mask. Kid, who is always conceited, couldn't help but swallow his saliva after hearing this. He still trusts what Kira says. Sabaody Archipelago, how could such a monster exist? At this time, there are two celestial dragons in the front row. Saint Rosward and Pallas Xylulia also discovered that Saint Charlos was dead. Father! Look! Brother! My brother was killed! Xylulia Pallas screamed. Damn it! Who is it? Is it you? You lowly pirate! How dare you kill my son? You're dead, pariah! Saint Roswald looked at Straw Hat Luffy, extremely angry. I feel like my eyes are on fire. No. It's not me. It's really not me. I didn't mean to kill him. Luffy quickly waved his hands in denial and took dozens of steps back. Not that Luffy was afraid. But he didn't do it at all, so how could he admit it? Who is it? Who is it? Who did this? Get out here! I must let you experience the most painful torture in the world. Saint Roswald roared madly in the face of his son's death. If the murderer is not found, all of you lowly people will be buried with my son. Immediately order all exits of the auction venue to be sealed. Then have the Marine headquarters send out a general. We must find the murderer. Saint Roswald gave the order, his tone extremely angry. Run! The celestial dragons have gone crazy. If Admiral Marine comes, everyone will die. For a moment, all the nobles present rushed to the exit frantically. When the celestial dragons go crazy, it's no joke. Although they are also nobles, compared with the world noble celestial dragons, they are just pariahs. The auction venue suddenly became a mess. Before the murderer is found, anyone who dares to run will be killed. Saint Roswald immediately shot at the fleeing nobles. Bang! 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 Suddenly several nobles fell in a pool of blood. Received orders from Saint Roswald. Some heavily armed guards also went on a killing spree. All the nobles who escaped were hacked to death by the guards with axes, swords, and guns. The auction venue was a river of blood. Seeing this, the other nobles didn't dare to run away and stayed where they were. Oh my God! How could this happen? Are the celestial dragons so cruel? The first time I witnessed the brutality of the celestial dragons. Nami, Chopper, Usopp, and others, who had fragile mental qualities, immediately covered their mouths, tears welling up in their eyes. It's not just this weak trio. The other members of the Straw Hat Pirates, who were always fearless, also started to panic. Just to defeat the celestial dragons, you have to face the pursuit of Marine Admiral. Now the dragons are dead. Admiral Marine will definitely wipe out all the people here. The Kid Pirates, the Heart Pirates, and others also have the same idea as the Straw Hat Pirates. We must find a way to escape quickly. At this moment, suddenly, a figure emerged from the ground that had just been smashed through. A clean white shirt and simple black trousers. He is about 2.8 meters tall, still growing, and is a stranger. It turned out to be Luo Noa, who had just fallen to the ground. Finally it came out, let me see where it is. Walking out and brushing off the dust on his body, Luo Noa said calmly. Then he looked around. At the auction venue, a group of nobles. Straw Hat Boy, Kid, Law, the 3 captains. Plus 3 pirate groups. There were also 2 familiar-looking Tianlong people, 1 male and 1 female. Plus the ugly celestial dragon who died on the ground. Looking at the familiar scene in front of me, Luo Ne instantly understood what timeline he had traveled to. I have traveled directly to 36 years later, the year 1520 in the Haiyuan calendar. It's this guy. No doubt about it. The slash just now was made by this guy. There are monsters like this in the Sabaody archipelago. After seeing Luo Nua, the swordsman present, Zoro, Kira, and Luo all confirmed it immediately. The terrifying slash just now was definitely launched by the young man in front of me. If for nothing else, it was for the supreme sword hanging on Luo Nua's waist, first-generation Kitetsu. The sword power emanating from the first-generation Kitetsu was almost enough to engulf them all. Plus the instinct as a swordsman. I sensed the invincible sword intent in Luo Nua. Zoro and Kira immediately realized that the slash from underground was definitely from the man in front of them. Zoro was greatly stimulated. This guy's sword intent is even more powerful than Hawkeye. After hearing what Zoro, Kira, and Law said, members of the Straw Hat Pirates, Kid, and Heart Pirates, they all turned their eyes to Luo Nua in front of them. Then everyone was stunned. Who is this person? I don't know him at all. I have never seen this face in any newspaper. Why don't I know this man who has such great power? Looking at his appearance, he is so young. Is it possible to be so strong at such a young age? Are they the same supernova? Since when did supernovas have such monsters? Kid, Luffy and Law, who were present, immediately observed Luo Noa carefully. They regarded Luo Noa as a potential competitor. It's not their fault that they are ignorant. After all, it has been more than 30 years since the Battle of God Valley. The island of God's Valley was sunk to the bottom of the sea by him long ago. All the news about rocks and the evil ones were also erased. Except for those who experienced that era personally, they know how terrifying the existence of extreme evil is. Today's pirates have never heard of the name. The Evil One. It's him! It's him! He definitely killed St. Charlos. That's right, the slash from the ground just now was definitely done by him. St. Rosward! The murderer has been found. This bastard! He almost made us all have to be buried with him. Catch this pariah quickly! Execute him! At the same time, after seeing Luo Noa, the nobles present also breathed a sigh of relief and pointed their fingers at Luo Noa. The murderer has been found. There is no doubt about it. It's this young man. These nobles stared at Luo Noa intently, as if they wanted to eat him alive. I almost got buried with this lowly person. Father! The murderer has been found. It was this pariah. This pariah killed my brother. Hurry up and order this pariah to be arrested. I'm going to take him back to the Holy Land. As my slave. I will torture him to death. Let him experience the most painful punishment. Avenge my brother. After hearing this, Xiao Lilia Palace was immediately furious. Said to Saint Rosward, who was standing beside him, Father! 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 What's wrong with you? But the next moment, Xiao Lilia Palace was stunned on the spot. Because she saw her father, Saint Rosward. His legs were shaking and his whole body was trembling. There was even yellow liquid on the pants. Then there was a strong smell of urine. The stench was overwhelming. Dad peed? Not just the Xia Lilia Palace. The nobles present, as well as members of the Straw Hat Pirates, the Heart Pirates, and the Kid Pirates. Everyone was stunned. What's going on? Why is the scene different from what I imagined? At this time, shouldn't St. Roswald be clamoring for Admiral Marine to come over? Should we just execute or torture the young man in front of us? Why did he suddenly become so cowardly? Father! You! What happened to you? Are you so angry? At this moment, Xiao Lilia Palace thought that her father was so angry because of her brother's death. Damn you lowlife! You killed my brother and made my father so angry! I will make you feel the pain of hell! Xiao Lilia Palace said to Luo Noa viciously. Just when everyone was confused, Saint Rosward finally spoke. Evildoer! Aren't you dead? How are you still alive? How is this possible? This is absolutely impossible. I clearly remember that you are already dead. Saint Rosward fell to the ground in fear, and the smell of urine filled the air. As a celestial dragon who personally experienced the tragedy of God Valley 36 years ago, he had a personal experience of Luo Noa's terror. This guy is like a devil to the Tianlong people. After hearing her father's words, Xiao Lilia Palace beside her was also frightened to the point of paleness. Now she finally understood why her father was so scared that he peed himself. Extremely evil person. Although this name has been erased by the world government. But as a celestial dragon, it is impossible not to have heard of this name. This name represents the eternal nightmare of the Tianlong people. It can be said that the notoriety of extremely evil has been deeply engraved into the genes of the celestial dragons. How is it possible? How is it possible? Father, didn't you say that the evil one is dead? How is he still alive? Xiao Lilia Palace was so frightened that she stood still. She could never have imagined it. This person is the evil one, who brought great pain to the celestial dragons of the Holy Land 36 years ago. Is my eyes wrong? I saw the celestial dragons piss themselves. What's going on? Why are the celestial dragons so scared? What happened? Who on earth is this guy? How could he scare the celestial dragons like this? Extremely evil? I've never heard of this name. What on earth is going on? All the nobles present covered their heads, totally unaware of what was going on. I don't know what happened to this young man who suddenly appeared in front of me. Why did the celestial dragons become so scared? That's a world noble. If anyone dares to provoke us, the Marine Admiral will be dispatched. Were you scared like this? What on earth is going on? How terrifying! It actually scared the Tianlong people like this. Who on earth is this man? Why on earth is this happening? What did he do to scare the celestial dragons like this? What's the name of the evil one? I've never heard of it before. The people of the Straw Hat Pirates, Kid Pirates, and Heart Pirates also felt that their worldviews were shattered. Why are the celestial dragons so afraid of this strange man? Who on earth is this guy? Haha, Saint Rosward, I didn't expect you to survive that war. But now you've met me again. Should I say you're lucky or unlucky? Luo No looked at Saint Rosward, his tone full of ridicule. The next moment, Luo No immediately pulled out the first-generation Kitetsu. Immediately, a monstrous sword intent and momentum rose up. When you meet a celestial dragon, there is only one word for you. Kill. What a terrifying aura! This sword intent is simply not human. Does he want to attack the celestial dragons? What a horrible fellow! Feel this terrifying aura. Kid, Luffy, Law and others were all shocked. I just thought they were supernovas from the same class. Now it seems that I am not even as good as one finger of the other party. Who the hell is this guy? Zoro was in great pain. Hawkeye already made him feel out of reach. But the sword intent of the young man in front of him was even more terrifying than Hawkeye. Same time. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Report to Sengoku Fleet Admiral. A major incident has occurred in the Sabaody archipelago. A Tianlong was killed at the auction site in Area 1. It is still unclear who the murderer is. At the same time, news of the auction venue was reported back to Marine Headquarters. What did you say? The celestial dragon is dead? After hearing the news, John Guo was so frightened that he almost jumped out of his chair. Not just the warring states. The two generals beside, Kizaru and Akainu, were also shocked. In Sabaody archipelago, the celestial dragon is dead? Who dares to do such a treasonous thing under the nose of Marine Headquarters? That's right. The information we got is that a celestial dragon died. The murderer has not been found yet. However, many suspicious people have been spotted at the auction site. Straw Hat Boy Luffy, Captain Eustace Kidd, and Surgeon of Death Trafalgar Law. Pirate Hunter Zoro, Slayer Kira. It is currently suspected that one of these supernovas may be the murderer, said the Marine who was in charge of delivering the information. Are you sure? Would these supernovas dare to do such a thing? John Guo doubted his ears and asked again. Although these supernovas are all newcomers and don't know the rules very well, they are not fools. Killing a celestial dragon is a serious crime. This is no longer a question of whether or not to send out the Marine Admiral. Instead, they must be arrested immediately and wait for the 5 elders to personally decide their fate. Even I, the Marine Fleet Admiral, don't have the right to deal with it. If the murderer is confirmed, he won't even be imprisoned and impelled down. Basically, they were all executed immediately. Well, these are the only pirates with names and surnames at the scene. There is also an unknown young man who has no bounty at the moment. So it can basically be ruled out. It should be one of these 5 people, said the Marine who was delivering the information. After all, he had never heard of the title of extremely evil. I have never seen Luo No's appearance before. I just regarded Luo No as an ordinary man and ruled him out without a second thought. Damn it! I wonder if Garp knows about this. Jean Due found the situation a bit tricky. After all, Straw Hat Boy is Garp's grandson. If the Straw Hat Boy were really captured and killed, Garp would be in big trouble. But if the Tianlong people die, none of these people can escape. Akainu, Kizaru, both of you go out. Jean Due gave an order and waved his hand. No matter what, let's catch him first. At least have the right attitude. If the murderer is really the Straw Hat Boy, then we have to shift the blame to Trafalgar Law and Kidd. After all, at this critical moment, Jandwa didn't want to offend Garp. Because soon, Marine will publicly execute poor Gasti, Ace. This man has the blood of One Piece flowing in his veins. Wow, how scary, Sengoku Fleet Admiral, you're really serious. Kizaru was surprised to hear that even Akainu was dispatched. This guy can't tolerate any grain of sand in his eyes. An all-out war with Whitebeard is about to begin. Capturing his grandson at this time and offending Lieutenant General Garp is no joke. Killing a celestial dragon is a serious crime. These evils must be eradicated. Hearing that pirates were captured, Akainu became motivated and immediately 2 warships set out from the Marine headquarters. Depart for Sabaody Archipelago. Meanwhile, Sabaody Islands. Area 1, Lawless Zone, Human Trafficking Venue. Tell me how you want to die. Luo Noa pulled out the first-generation Kitetsu and looked at the 2 celestial dragons in front of him. You, don't come over here. I don't want to die yet. Rosvar Saint, the Xylulia Palace kept retreating. His facial features were distorted with fear. As a celestial dragon who personally experienced the Battle of God Valley, the horror of the Evil One is felt most deeply by Saint Roswald. He doesn't care about world noble or not. In his eyes, the celestial dragons are worse than pigs and dogs. Don't struggle, Saint Rosward. You know the consequences of meeting me. If you don't want to choose, I will choose for you. Feel the pain before you die. Luo No came to the 2 of them and immediately raised his right foot. No, don't! The 2 Tianlongs were trembling with fear, but they had no intention of resisting at all. Click! Click! The 2 celestial dragons screamed like pigs being slaughtered. Luo Noa stepped on the 2 men's fingers one by one. Then he broke the 2 men's bones one by one. By the way, he dug out the eyeballs of both of them. I learned this from the slaves in the Valley of Gods. This practice has suffered the most lasting pain. After doing all this, the 2 Tianlong people were already dying, and they were still groaning in pain. The people present were almost doubting their lives when they saw this scene. How dare you torture world noble like this? Isn't he afraid of retaliation from Admiral Marine? This guy is a devil from hell. What a horrible method! It's simply inhuman. All the nobles present, including the 3 pirate group members, they all couldn't believe what they saw. There are actually people who treat the celestial dragons like pigs and dogs. What kind of devil is this guy? At the same time, backstage at the auction venue, there's no more wine. I originally wanted to rob my buyer, but now it seems that my plan has failed. Mr. Giant, don't you think it's noisy outside? An old man with gray hair and a vertical scar on his eye shook the standard wine jug in his hand and said, This person is surprisingly the famous One Piece right arm. Pluton Rayleigh. What a bad-behaving old man. The giant beside him couldn't help but sigh. The old man in front of me has a unique temperament. In that case, don't waste your time here. Go out and see what's going on. Soon, Rayleigh stood up and removed the explosive collars on himself and the giant. The 2 left the backstage and came to the front stage. The next moment, the tragedy at the auction venue appeared before their eyes. Oh? Why is it so chaotic? The celestial dragons were actually tortured like this. Even the well-informed Pluton Rayleigh was shocked when he saw the chaos on the scene. After all, due to Luo Noa's sudden intrusion, the scene was several times more chaotic than in the original novel. It is no exaggeration to describe it as a river of blood. Especially the 2 Tianlong people, their eyes were hollowed out, and their bones were broken. It was a horrible sight. But before he could be surprised for long, Rayleigh saw a familiar figure. Boom! Rayleigh felt like she could hear her own heartbeat. This. At first, Rayleigh's eyes widened in disbelief. Then he took off his glasses and wiped them hard. After confirming again, Rayleigh's face changed drastically. Eyes wide open, tongue sticking out. To describe it as jaw-dropping is not an exaggeration at all. There is no trace of Pluton Rayleigh's usual cool demeanor. I am not seeing things. Luo no! Aren't you dead? How come you are here? Pluton Rayleigh looked at Luo no and said with great shock and joy. Luo no! I am not dreaming! After carefully checking it several times, Rayleigh said in astonishment. You can't go wrong. The evil one Luo no! 36 years ago, a pirate as famous as rocks, the overlord of the sea. In the Battle of God Valley, in order to save Roger's pirate group, he took the initiative to cover the retreat. Isn't he dead? How did it appear in the Sabati archipelago? And why doesn't this guy look any older? Oh my God, this is so unfair. Rayleigh, long time no see. You've aged so badly. After seeing Pluton Rayleigh, Luo no smiled for the first time. At the same time, I also feel a little uncomfortable. For Luo no, the Battle of God Valley seemed like it happened yesterday. The last time I saw Rayleigh, she was still in her prime with golden hair. As a result, after a night's sleep, Rayleigh turned into an old man with a beard and gray hair. Rayleigh? Is the old man's name Rayleigh? So, he is the vice captain of One Piece, Pluton Rayleigh? After hearing what Luo no said, the Kid Pirates, the Heart Pirates, and Robin were all stunned. The famous One Piece right hand, Pluton Rayleigh. This is a legendary pirate. Pluton Rayleigh! I've heard of that name. One Piece's vice captain. It's amazing. I can actually meet you here. Hey, is he the coding craftsman that Siachi mentioned? After hearing Robin's words, the Straw Hat Pirates were all excited. They have never heard of the name, extremely evil. But the name of Pluton Rayleigh is absolutely well known to everyone, young and old. You don't seem to have any signs of aging at all. Rayleigh looked at Luo no's face, which was still 18 years old, and said enviously, I still dream about the battle in the Valley of the Gods from time to time. You incited the slaves to massacre more than 2,000 celestial dragons, causing them to become almost extinct. They have not recovered yet. In that battle, you killed 5 general-level warriors by yourself. We were almost able to overthrow the rule of the world government together. Especially the scene where you faced the siege of 20 general-level warriors alone, it really shocked me deeply. We all thought you were dead. Roger still remembers this and misses you all the time. 22 years ago, we finally completed the journey of the Grand Line and arrived at the final island. He and I discovered the truth about this world together. At that time, in the Valley of Gods, we were a little too hasty. If we can discover the truth sooner, we can wait for the reincarnation of history and the arrival of destiny. Perhaps there wouldn't be so many tragedies in the Valley of the Gods. Hey, I'm really old. I talk a lot. Rayleigh sighed as soon as she saw Luo no. He talks nonstop like a chatty old man. There were even tears in the corners of his eyes. The reunion of old friends made Rayleigh, who is well-informed and experienced, very excited. When he saw Luo no, it was as if he had returned to his prime years in an instant. Join Roger in a hearty battle against the world government in the Valley of Gods. That was the most magnificent and terrifying battle I have ever experienced. Roger has always thought so. I really miss you. Roger should be gone now. Seeing the tears in Rayleigh's eyes, Luo no also asked with a sigh. After all, Luo no did not experience these 36 years personally. What exactly happened in these 36 years? Has the timeline of the original work been disrupted because of my intervention? Have those major events in history been changed? These are all unknowns, so Luo no needs to confirm them. These conversations were all heard by the Straw Hat Pirates, the Heart Pirates, and the Kid Pirates. The expressions of the 3 pirate group members all turned into shock. What is Valley of the Gods? What war? Incites slaves to kill 2,000 celestial dragons. One person killed 5 general-level warriors. And in the end, he was besieged by 20 general-level warriors. Is this a fairy tale? How come I have never heard of it? These deeds, as if they were from ancient myths, made the three pirate group's members stand still in their tracks, like being struck by lightning. If these words were spoken by an old man in the market, then they might think it was just bragging, a story made up by the old man to tease the young people. But the person who mentioned these deeds is the famous Pluton Rayleigh. He wouldn't be like those old men in the market who like to make up stories. Robin, is this true? At this time, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates looked at the knowledgeable historian Nico Robin at the same time. She is the most experienced person in the Straw Hat Pirates, and should know some truth. Hearing this, Robin, who was always calm, now recalled his childhood with an incredible look on his face. In the library of O'Hara's Tree of All-Knowing, I have indeed seen the name. The Evil One. That's right, the name, the Evil One, did appear briefly in history. In that legendary battle 36 years ago, he was the vice-captain of the Rocks Pirates. In that battle, countless celestial dragons died at his hands. The fleet admiral of the three armies, the commander-in-chief of CP0, and 5 elders, all died at the hands of the extremely evil. But in the end, due to some mysterious reasons, the Rocks Pirates' challenge to the world government failed. Captain Rocks and his deputy captain, the Evil One, were wiped out by the world government, and disappeared from this world along with the island Valley of the Gods. I originally thought it was just a legend, but I didn't expect it to be true. That's right, the man in front of me is definitely the evil culprit. I didn't expect that after such an epic battle, he didn't die. Robin was totally shocked. When I saw such things at that time, I just treated them as fairy tales and laughed them off. After all, how could anyone in this world be able to do such a thing? But now see Luo Noa himself. Plus what Pluton Rayleigh said. Robin confirmed. The legend of the Evil One is real. No wonder he treats the celestial dragons like pigs and dogs. It turns out that he has already massacred the celestial dragons. He was able to kill 5 general-level warriors in one battle. What kind of monster is he? It seems like I heard some incredible story. It seems that I am not mistaken. No wonder his sword power is better than Hawkeye's. A man who can't even beat One Piece? The Straw Hat Pirates looked at Luo Nu again. At this moment, they all felt that the other party's figure was tall and majestic. Even Straw Hat Luffy and Zoro, 2 people with lofty ambitions. At this moment, I couldn't help but feel from the bottom of my heart the gap between the Evil One and myself. I'm afraid I'll never be able to catch up in this lifetime. Why would such a powerful guy appear in the Sabaody archipelago? Shouldn't he be in the New World, fighting the 4 emperors? The Kid Pirates and the Heart Pirates all have the same feeling as the Straw Hat Pirates. At this time, Rayleigh was still talking to Luo Noa. Bursts of hearty laughter could be heard from time to time. Immediately, Rayleigh slapped her thigh as if she remembered something. Oh no! I forgot to inform an important person about your reappearance. Shaggy, right? Luo Noa looked at Rayleigh and said with a smile. It turns out that Shaggy is also a member of the Rocks Pirates. I have a good relationship with everyone on the ship. He is one of the few normal people in the Rocks Pirates. Moreover, Shaggy is the king of Amazon Lily, the daughter island. Yes. I have to inform Xiaoqi of this news immediately. If she knew, she would be so happy that she would go crazy. Also, if Whitebeard, Golden Lion and other old guys knew that you were still alive, they would definitely go crazy with joy. Forget it. Let's talk about this later. Let's go to my place and have a drink first. We must get drunk today. Rayleigh said this and pulled Luo Noa to leave the auction venue. Uncle Rayleigh! Shaggy asked us to come to you. We still need to coat the film. Seeing that Rayleigh was about to leave, Luffy quickly stepped forward and said, Oh, Straw Hat Boy Luffy! The straw hat on your head is very interesting. But let's talk about the coating another day. I have something important to do now. I'm sorry. Rayleigh glanced at Luffy and said apologetically, A mere coating is not as important as meeting an old friend. At this moment, suddenly, a huge noise was heard. This is it, right? The next moment, 2 tall figures appeared at the auction venue, exuding an aggressive aura. This is Marine Admiral! Kizaru! No. No! There's also Akainu! Why did they send out 2 Marine Admirals at once? After seeing the 2 figures, the Straw Hat Pirates, the Heart Pirates, and the Kid Pirates, all 3 pirate groups panicked. General Marine appears. At first glance, it's obvious that they appeared because of the celestial dragons. And 2 of them appeared right away. Of course, it's not just these 2. At this time, the other supernovas are Strange Monk, Urage, and Gangster, Capone Beach. Magician Basil Hawkins, Seeming Skirachim and Apu, Big Eater Joe and Bonnie. Except for Marine Undercover, X, Drake, all the other supernovas are present. But these supernovas were obviously forced to be there. Because they were tied with sea stone all over their bodies and couldn't move at all. It was obvious that he was caught by Akainu. Yo Sakaski, clearly the order from Sengoku Fleet Admiral is to arrest the suspects Straw Hat, Kid, Law and others. But you actually captured the other supernovas as well, you're really motivated. Yellow Monkey also looked helpless about this. I just wanted to finish my work happily and take a break, but who knew I would partner with Akainu? I can only get serious and tease Akainu at the same time. Now that we are here, we must capture these evil pirates! There are still 5 suspects. No one can be left behind. All of them must be arrested, Akainu said righteously. Anyway, there are supernovas gathering in the Sabaody archipelago right now. Now that I'm here, I can take care of them all in one go. Damn Straw Hat, Kid, and Luo! It's all your fault. Why did you anger the celestial dragons? Now we are in trouble too. You are a bunch of idiots. Other supernovas were tied up with sea stone. After seeing Law, Kid, and Luffy, he started cursing. Hey, we didn't fight the celestial dragons, don't wrongly accuse us. That's right. You bastards, stop wrongly accusing good people. Kid, Law, and Luffy responded without any hesitation. If you want to chat, go to the great prison in the deep sea and chat. Kizaru likes to slack off, but Akainu won't tolerate these supernovas. Big eruption! A huge fire blast flew out, instantly killing all the members of the Kid Pirates. The terrifying high-temperature magma left many members of the Kid Pirates seriously injured and dying. Akainu was still holding back. After all, these people would be handed over to the 5 elders for judgment. Otherwise, they would all be killed with one punch. So scary! Is this the strength of Admiral Marine? Run! Seeing this, the Heart Pirates had no intention of resisting and prepared to escape. Hey, little devils, wanna run? Have you ever been kicked by the speed of light? Several flashes of light streaked across the sky like shooting stars. The next moment, all members of the Heart Pirates were killed instantly. You're the only ones left, Straw Hat Pirates! After easily dealing with the 2 supernovas, Kizaru and Akainu turned their attention to the Straw Hat Pirates. Don't come over here, we didn't kill the celestial dragons! Yes. Why are you arresting us? Damn Marine Admiral! All members of the Straw Hat Pirates trembled in fear when facing the 2 admirals. The 3 main forces, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, are also unable to cope with the situation at the moment. Save these words for those celestial dragons in Mary Geos. Dark Hound! Akainu doesn't care about whether Luffy is Garp's grandson or not. A huge flame shot out. Just at this moment, boom! A huge figure dropped from the sky and blocked the Straw Hat Pirates. Bounce that big fireball away. Bartholomew Bear? What are you doing here? Akainu was stunned when he saw who was coming. How come this guy is here? As long as it is not an order from the world government, we Shichibukai have no need to cooperate with you Marines. I won't answer your question, Shiong said in surprise. I didn't expect that even Akainu would come. This makes things difficult. So Kuma didn't waste any time and immediately turned around, wanting to knock the Straw Hat Pirates away. Shichibukai, huh? Do you think I wouldn't dare to do anything because the world government is protecting you? Dark Hound! Akainu doesn't care if the other person is Shichibukai or not. If you are a pirate and dare to stop me, I will kill you. A dark hound flew out and pierced directly through the big bear's body. Click! Click! The skin was burned, and the mechanical instruments inside the body were exposed, making necrotic sounds. Run, Luffy! The Straw Hat Pirates took this opportunity to scatter. Hey! Everyone from the Straw Hat Pirates! Want to run? Did you forget that I am here too? Kizaru grinned and chased the Straw Hat Pirates relentlessly. It looks like the situation is not good. Luonor, wait for me a moment, let me finish this first. Then let's get drunk again. Rayleigh originally didn't want to deal with this matter. But since Akainu Kizaru had arrived, he still felt that he needed to take action. After all, Straw Hat Boy is a good junior. Besides, I admire him very much and cannot let him be killed here. Rayleigh, you've already taken action, how can I not take action? Luonor sighed. I am alone and don't care about the lives of these supernovas. But Rayleigh was the one who helped him in the Valley of Gods after all. After all, like Roger, there is no need for him to get involved in the affairs of the Valley of Gods. But he still came and helped the Rocks pirates resist the powerful Admiral. How could I not repay such a huge favor? What's more, even Rayleigh can't withstand the combined efforts of 2 Marine Admirals. He couldn't just stand by and watch his old friend being bullied by the General here. Oh? Luonor, are you going to do it yourself? Hearing what Luonor meant, Rayleigh put away his sword. Since Luonor was going to do it himself, there was no need for him to waste his energy. Just 2 generals. Luonor is a man who is as good as Rocks, or even better than Rocks. He did not die despite being besieged by 20 great generals. All I have to do is stay aside and wait quietly for him to sort everything out. Sakaski, Borsellino, long time no see. No, it should be Akainu, Kizaru, long time no see. Those little bastards in Marine have grown up a lot now. You have finally grown into qualified lackeys of the Celestial Dragons. At this moment, Luonor finally spoke. He said this sarcastically to Akainu and Kizaru, who were fighting as if no one was around. The two were so focused that they didn't even notice Luonor standing beside them. After all, in their minds, Luonor had already died, so of course they couldn't have noticed. Asshole! A lackey of the Celestial Dragons? Who said that? How dare you insult the Marine General? You're courting death! Akainu was also furious when he heard this name. Although Admiral Marine is indeed a direct subordinate of the Celestial Dragons, he also seems to be a lackey of the Celestial Dragons. But you can't tell. Big eruption! It erupted with terrifying magma power, turned around and shot towards the source of the sound. But when Akainu saw who said this, the boiling magma was extinguished on the spot. Akainu's pupils instantly dilated, and his expression gradually turned into horror. He was stunned on the spot. Cold sweat was pouring down his face like rain. No way? I didn't see it wrong. Oh my God! Who the hell is this? Isn't this the extremely evil Luonor? How did he end up here? Didn't he die in the battle at the Valley of Gods? Is this person real or fake? A series of questions appeared in Akainu's mind, and he froze in place. Hey Sakaski, you can slack off too, that's rare. Kizaru on the side had just finished dealing with all the members of the Straw Hat Pirates, preparing to reunite with Akainu. Seeing Akainu standing there in a daze, he couldn't help but tease him. But when he followed Akainu's gaze and saw the familiar figure, Kizaru's facial features are deformed. It turned into photons and instantly appeared dozens of meters away. Nanny! Scared? Am I seeing things? The evil one Luonor! Why is this guy here? Kizaru was so frightened that he almost lost his balance. As a senior Marine, both Sakaski and Borsellino personally participated in the Battle of God Valley 36 years ago. They even participated in the earlier Golden City incident. For them who were still new to the Marine at that time, those two wars are still fresh in my memory. Especially the impression of the evil one, Luonor, is even deeper than that of the Sea Overlord Rocks. After all, they did not directly fight against the Sea Overlord Rocks. but he had a direct fight with Luo Nuo. It's no exaggeration to say that the three of them almost died at Luo Nuo's hands. Even Luo Nuo left a big psychological shadow on the three of them, which has not completely dissipated until now. What happened to these two generals? Why are you so scared? Is it because of Pluton Rayleigh? The supernova, the gluttonous woman, the gangsters, the strange monk and others who were unaware of the situation were also stunned. Although they were tied up with seastone, they could not move. What's going on? Why do Akainu and Kizaru look frightened? Could it be because of Pluton Rayleigh? Impossible. Even Pluton Rayleigh couldn't intimidate two generals at the same time. I was the one who killed these three Tianlong people. Just come at me. Luo Nuo saw the frightened expressions of the two people and smiled faintly. He immediately pulled out the first-generation Kitetsu and released the terrifying conqueror's domineering aura. The overwhelming sword intent and domineering aura continued to rise. The floor, walls, and ceiling of the entire auction venue, they were all shattered by this domineering aura. Conqueror's domineering damage is materialized. Proof of the top conqueror's dominance. Who is that guy? Such a terrifying aura! Is he a beast? How terrifying! Many times more terrifying than a general. Who is he? Why have I never seen him before? The supernovas who did not hear the conversation just now include Big Eater, Gangster, Becky, Weird Monk, Urage, Hai Ming, Magician, Hawkins and other supernovas. They were all shocked by Luo Nuo's explosive momentum. A much more powerful aura than that of a general. Sabaody Archipelago, do such terrifying people exist? Or, in other words, are there such terrifying people in this ocean? Damn it! Evil One! I didn't expect you were still alive! Sakaski was sweating profusely at this moment, and clenched his fists. No wonder the celestial dragon died. I was also skeptical when I first heard the news. How could these supernovas have the guts to kill the celestial dragons? Now I understand. The evil one Luo Nuo is back on Earth. Killing a few celestial dragons is as easy as killing a chicken. It's over. This is going to be difficult. The extremely evil is the murderer. Then it is very likely that we won't be able to handle it with just myself and Kizaru. Akainu was still hesitating, but Kizaru reacted much faster. Hey Sakaski! What are you standing there for? Go! We are no match for him. That's the extremely evil. After saying this, Kizaru turned into a beam of photon and flew away. In the Battle of God Valley, the Evil One had fought against two general-level warriors at the same time before. As a result, the two powerful generals became victims of the sword of the extremely evil criminal. Now that almost 40 years have passed, who knows whether the strength of the Evil Ones has continued to grow. What's more, Luo Nuo has a living legend by his side. Pluton Rayleigh. No matter how you look at it, there's no way we can win. Want to leave? Kizaru can easily leave with the help of the Pika Pika no Mi, but Akainu is not that fast. Luo Nuo is holding the first-generation Kitetsu, and his sword intent is constantly being released. Sakaski! Go! Suddenly, Kizaru flashed back, grabbed Akainu by the collar and ran away. But are those supernovas just let go? Akainu was unwilling to give up and wanted to take this supernova with him. Why do you care so much? We must report this news to Sengoku Fleet Admiral immediately. Kizaru grabbed Akainu's collar and left like the wind. The supernovas were left standing there, dumbfounded. What's happening? The two generals took one look at the strange man and wondered why he suddenly ran away. They don't even catch criminals. Is it that scary? Is this a ghost? Is that strange man that powerful? Without even making a move, he scared away the two generals. This is too exaggerated. But no matter what, I was saved. The legend of the extremely evil is indeed true. Look, it looks like we're saved. Just by releasing his aura, the two generals ran away. It's really amazing. Everyone from the Straw Hat Pirates, Kid Pirates, and Heart Pirates. They all breathed a sigh of relief. I thought I was going to die. Unexpectedly, the extremely evil stood up. Without even making a move, the two generals were scared away. This is too scary. Now everyone is more convinced that the legend seems to have really existed. It's you, Luo No! After so many years, your spirit is still so terrifying, Rayleigh also said with a smile. The momentum that Luo Noa showed just now was exactly the same as the one during the battle in the Valley of the Gods. Time has really stopped for Luo Nuo. Come on, let's go to my place for a couple of drinks. And then let Xiachi know that you're back. She'll be so frightened. But the Marines will definitely be shocked too, ha ha ha. Rayleigh and Rano walked towards Shaki's extortion bar. At the same time, Kizaru turned into a flash of light and rushed to the port with Akainu. There was not even time to take the warship, so he directly transformed into an element all the way to Marineford. Hey Sengoku Fleet Admiral Big things are happening. Kizaru dragged Akainu and immediately found Marine Headquarters Fleet Admiral Sengoku and said breathlessly. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. The Celestial Dragons were killed? That's great! Garp laughed out loud upon hearing the news that the Celestial Dragons were killed. Humph, Garp, your grandson is among the suspects this time. Sengoku glared at Garp unhappily. Oh? Luffy doesn't seem like the type to do something like this. Garp suddenly stopped smiling and became serious. It would be fine if it was just about beating him up. Killing the Celestial Dragons directly is indeed a serious matter. Garp is seriously considering whether to go to the Sabaody archipelago in person to check out the situation. His grandson Ace has been arrested. If Luffy gets caught again, he will definitely go crazy. Garp, let's see if you can still laugh. Zhangguo was also very proud when he saw his old friend Garp being humiliated. Don't worry, if it was really the Straw Hat Boy who did it, I will also put the blame on others. However, Zhangguo still softened his heart and comforted Garp. Just then, a flash of light appeared in the Fleet Admiral's office. The next moment, Kizaru and Akainu appeared, sweating profusely. Is it done so quickly? Who is the murderer? Where's Kaoxing? Why didn't they capture anyone? Seeing the two people coming back so quickly, Zhangguo didn't see any trace of the suspect, so he asked. No! Sengoku Fleet Admiral, something terrible has happened. I saw the evil ones in the Sabaody archipelago. He's not dead. He was the one who killed the Celestial Dragon, Kizaru said breathlessly. What did you say? Zhangguo's eyes widened immediately. His eyes were about to burst, and he was extremely shocked. Garp was also stunned on the spot. The senbei in his hand fell to the ground. Even Vice Admiral Tsuru, Aoki and other Marine high-ranking officials who were present. At this moment, he became like a sculpture, stunned. Extremely evil person. This name has not appeared on the sea for nearly 40 years. You are kidding, Kizaru! Zhangguo said with a serious expression. How dare I joke about such a thing, Sengoku Fleet Admiral? Kizaru changed his usual nonchalant tone and spoke in a very serious tone. I saw it with my own eyes. The evil one hasn't aged at all. The momentum and strength are still as strong as ever. Recalling the conqueror's domineering and swordsmanship of Luo Nu in the Sabaody archipelago, Akainu is still frightened. Even if he has now grown into a genuine general-level strongman. Conquerors who faced Luo Nua also felt extremely dangerous. The kind that threatens life. Then, Akainu and Kizaru told the Marine executives present the details of the Sabaody archipelago. How could that be? I saw with my own eyes 20 general-level warriors besieging him. And then they were all crushed into dust by that terrifying move. He's not dead yet. Zhangguo murmured, sitting on the chair in a daze. He, Fleet Admiral, Garp, and Zephyr were all eyewitnesses of that great battle. The evil one, a man who is comparable to Rox, the overlord of the sea. If he really returns to the human world, the great pirate era will become even more chaotic. The situation may even be beyond the control of Marine. Garp, Qingji, He and other Marine senior executives looked extremely solemn. After all, they were all witnesses of the battle in the Valley of Gods and had dealt with Luo Nuo. The reputation of the most evil criminal still remains in everyone's heart and will take a long time to fade away. Anyway, let's report this news to the Air Fleet Admiral and the 5 elders first. Zhang Wu didn't say anything more and directly dialed the Den Den Mushi to call the Holy Land. The Evil One is not dead, and as a Marine Fleet Admiral, he cannot handle this news. The call was connected soon. The 5 elders in the Holy Land at this time are the same 5 elders in the original book. However, nearly 40 years have passed, and these 5 people have grown from their prime years to old age. 5 elders? Important intelligence report, the Evil One is not dead. Warring State's gate of opening seized the mountain. What did you say? On the other end of the phone, the surprised voices of 5 old men came at the same time. As the 5 members of the previous Knights of God, they did not personally participate in the Battle of God Valley. But their previous 5 elders died at the hands of the Evil Ones and rocks. Then Zhang Wu reported the detailed intelligence one by one. The more he listened, the more gloomy the 5 elders' faces became. The Evil One is not dead yet, and his momentum is still as strong as before. This is absolutely a bolt from the blue for the current world situation. Okay, I got it. Don't act rashly. We will send a CP to confirm this matter. 5 elders said this and quickly hung up the phone. In the Hall of Power of the Holy Land of Marihoa, the 5 people looked at each other, speechless for a moment. The return of the extremely evil to the human world is definitely a major event that will cause huge changes in the world. Should we inform Lord Yim first? Forget it. Don't be scared by a name. Let's first confirm the purpose of the Evil Ones coming back. The 5 elders decided not to tell Lord Yim about this for the time being. Just tell Lord Yim when you hear the news. This also shows that they are too useless, being frightened by a pirate. I have sent CP to investigate. You disappeared for almost 40 years and suddenly reappeared in the world, evildoer. What on earth have you been through all these years? What is your purpose? The 5 elders looked up at the sky with empty eyes. Meanwhile, Sabaody Islands. After scaring off Kizaru and Akainu, Rayleigh brought Luo Noa to the bar opened by Shaggy. In addition to Luo Noa, the Straw Hat Pirates also followed. After all, they still have to rely on Luo Noa coding. Even some supernovas were quietly following behind the two. They were so impressed by the momentum that Luo Noa had just shown. Too curious. Why does a man who looks about the same age as me, or even younger, have such strength? Why could he scare the 2 generals like that? We must find out who this person is. Luo Noa was too lazy to care about these supernovas. They could do whatever they wanted as long as they didn't disturb him. In Luo Noa's view, supernovas are no different from ants. Who would care about a few ants? At this moment in the bar, Xiaoqi was smoking and cleaning the bar. Xiaoqi, look, who's here? Rayleigh said in surprise after walking into the house, and Luo Noa followed Rayleigh in. Snap! The moment you raise your head. The cigarette in Xiaoqi's mouth fell directly to the ground, and he was stunned on the spot. Vice Captain Luo Lano? Xiaoqi's eyes widened. He couldn't believe what he saw. Vice Captain Luo Nuo. Am I dreaming? Xiaoqi, long time no see. Luo Nuo greeted Xiaoqi with a smile. It's really you, Vice Captain Luo Nuo. You are still alive. Xiaoqi came to the outside of the bar and gave Luo Nuo a big hug. Xiaoqi was also a participant in the Battle of God Valley back then. Witnessed Luo Nuo's heroic battle in the Valley of the Gods. Don't be fooled by the fact that she is a woman. She is the former emperor of Amazon Lily. In the Rocks Pirates, he is also one of the cadres. But he didn't reach the level of a squad leader. That's really enthusiastic, Shaki. Luo Nuo was so embarrassed by Xiaoqi's big hug that he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Xiaoqi also realized that this was inappropriate, so he quickly let go. I'm sorry, Vice Captain Luo Nuo, I'm too excited. You can't imagine how excited I am right now. Xiaoqi, who is already over 50 years old, is as excited as a little girl at this moment. Back then on the rock ship, Shaki was one of Luo Noa's fans. Ha ha ha, I understand how you feel, Shaki. I was just as excited as you when I saw Luo Noa. Rayleigh found some wine from the refrigerator and threw a bottle to Luo Noa first. Then he opened a bottle and drank it. Then the three of them started reminiscing about the past. These are some of the things that happened on the Rock's pirate group, and the details of the Battle of God Valley. Rayleigh and Shaki were also quite curious about where Luo Noa had been over the years. Luo Noa made up an excuse to get away with it. The two of them were smart people. Since Luo Noa didn't want to say more, there was no need for them to ask further. A conversation between three people. The supernovas including Big Eater, Gangster, Weird Monk, Hai Ming, Magician, Hawkins, etc. who followed were also stunned. One person killed 5 general-level warriors in one battle. Facing 20 powerful generals, he actually survived. How is this possible? But then he thought about what the 2 generals, Kizaru and Akainu, looked like when they saw Luo Noa. It's no different than seeing a ghost. He didn't even make a move, he was scared away. Directly scare off 2 generals. Who in the world today can do this? Even Whitebeard, the world's strongest man, can't do it. It seems that these stories may be true. By the way, Vice Captain Luo Noa, since you disappeared and Captain Rox died, the Rox pirates have fallen apart, and everyone's relationships have returned to what they were before. Golden Lion, Whitebeard, Kaido, Charlotte Lin, John, Silver Axe, Achiku captains have all set up their own companies. But Captain John is dead, and the Golden Lion was caught and escaped from prison. The only 3 captains still active on the sea are Whitebeard, Kaido, and Charlotte Lin. These 3 are also the current 4 emperors, ruling the new world like emperors. Come to think of it, I haven't seen these old acquaintances for almost 40 years. As Xiachi spoke, he began to sigh. If Vice Captain Luo Noa had not disappeared, maybe the Rock's pirates wouldn't disband so quickly. What? 4 emperors Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard are all on the same boat. So is that legendary pirate Golden Lion? This Luo Noa is their vice captain? Oh my god! What kind of a lineup is this? Xiachi is ripping people off. The supernovas outside the room were all stunned. This is the first time they have heard of such a thing. Even the Straw Hat pirates in the room were stunned. What's happening? So many legends on one boat? The evil one, Luo Noa, was able to suppress these monsters and become the vice captain. He is more terrifying than I thought. It seems like everyone has made great progress. I wonder if they still recognize me as their vice captain. Luo Noa also said with a smile, and he had a general understanding of the current world situation in his heart. The whole world has not changed much because of my appearance. Basically, it is not much different from the original. After all, for the past 36 years, he has been traveling through the turbulence of time and space, and it has not affected the real world. I don't know them, but I definitely recognize them. In my heart, you will always be the vice captain of the Rock's pirates. My second in command, too, Xiachi said firmly. Hearing this, Luo Noa felt warm in his heart. By the way, Luo Noa, you can't have come back to reminisce with us. What are your plans? I know about your feud with the Celestial Dragons. Are you still planning to destroy the Celestial Dragons as before? After chatting for a while, Rayleigh suddenly changed the subject and asked Luo Noa. Of course, you know my character. I won't stop until all the Tianlong people are dead, Luo Noa said with a smile, as if he was talking about a trivial matter. But after experiencing the war 36 years ago, I also know the background of the world government. What's more, there are even more powerful people within the world government who have not yet taken action. So this time, I will also be fully prepared. Then Luo Noa sighed. In the war 36 years ago, the foundation of the world government was like the water of the Yellow River, endless. There are already more than double-digit general-level experts in each major part. Plus the appearance of 19 kings. The Rock's pirates were directly imprisoned. More importantly, the real king of the world, am on the void throne. It hadn't appeared 36 years ago. You don't even have to lift a finger. His strength is probably more terrifying than that of all 19 kings combined. What's more, he holds one of the 3 ancient weapons in his hand, Uranus. Therefore, I can't attack rashly like I did before. So what are you going to do? It seems like the time is not ripe yet, but it will be soon, Rayleigh said as he turned his gaze towards the Straw Hat Boy. After going to Raftel, Rayleigh learned the truth about the world. I also learned a prophecy. According to the prophecy, a man will appear who will inherit the will of the great kingdom of Joy Boy. Then a huge war will be set off that will affect the whole world. The world government will also be involved. The outcome of the war was even predicted. The rule of the world government will eventually be overthrown. This is also what the world government has always feared, and it is also the reason why they have been trying their best to cover up the truth for 100 years. This is even the reason why Roger used his own death to open the Great Pirate Era. However, 22 years ago, Roger's pirate group went too early, and the time was not yet ripe. Because the child of prophecy has not yet been born. Now it seems that the child of prophecy has been born, and it is very likely that he is in this house. Ha ha, Rayleigh, you've changed. Destiny should be in your own hands. How can I rely on others? Luo Nu understood what Rayleigh meant and chuckled. Straw Hat Boy Luffy, judging from various details and fate, he is indeed the rumored son of prophecy. Whether it's the Nika fruit or his personal charm. But what does that have to do with me? I will never entrust my wish of killing the celestial dragons to others. Everything must be created with your own hands. This is Luo Nu's character. Oh? Luo Nu, what do you mean? Rayleigh originally planned to tell Luo Nu the truth of the past 100 years and the prophecy left by Joy Boy 800 years ago. But now it seems that there is no need for this. This man doesn't seem to be bound by the so-called prophecy. Like Captain Rocks, gather all the strong men in the world and form a brand new pirate group. What the world government fears is nothing more than total war. In that case, why not start a huge war that involves the entire world? Captain Rox's ideas are worth learning from. That is to gather the strongest people from all over the world and form a brand new pirate group. Start a total war that affects the entire world. That's what I came back for this time. Luo Nu said word by word. What is the world government afraid of? Is it the Nika fruit? Or Joy Boy? No. No matter how strong Joy Boy is alone, it is impossible for him to overthrow the world government single-handedly. What they really fear is the successor to Joy Boy's will. A war that affects the whole world. As long as all-out war is launched, anyone can be Joy Boy. Just like 800 years ago, Joy Boy led the huge kingdom in a full-scale war with 20 kings. That really took me by surprise, Luo Nu. At this moment, Rayleigh's glasses were refracted by the light, making it difficult to see his expression. But such an answer coming from your mouth seems quite normal. Rayleigh raised her head slightly, looked at Luo Nu, and revealed her eyes. His eyes were full of spirit. Deep in the heart of the 70-year-old, it seems that some kind of passion has been awakened. The ambition that had been old and even withered, once again sparked a raging fire. Faced with Luo Nu's answer, even though he knew the prophecy from 800 years ago, Rayleigh was also very excited. I was so excited that my body was shaking. Yes, destiny should be in our own hands. Instead of waiting for the so-called illusory son of prophecy. So, Rayleigh, are you interested in joining me? Luo Nu spoke up and directly invited Rayleigh. In his prime, Rayleigh was an absolute emperor-level warrior. It's Vice Wang. Although he is older and his physical strength has declined, he is still a powerful general. Ha ha ha, do you still want to come out at your age? Rayleigh grinned. Me. Vice Captain Luo Nu, I want to join in. Before Rayleigh finished speaking, Xiaoqi raised his hand. I can follow Vice Captain Luo Nu again. I thought it would never happen again in my lifetime. Now that the opportunity has arisen again, seize it decisively. There was no way Shaggy could miss it. Hey, Shaggy, let me finish. Rayleigh was speechless. Originally, I would rather spend my old age in peace, but if the captain is you, Luo no, why not come out again? I also want to see the day when that prophecy is fulfilled. Let me witness it myself. Rayleigh grinned, took a sip of wine, and gave her answer. That is to work with Luo Noa to turn the world upside down. It's a pity that Roger was suffering from an incurable disease at that time, otherwise he would be here now. I will definitely join in, and even be the first one to clamor to join. He also wanted to see with his own eyes the day when Raftel's prophecy would come true. After all, Roger himself said that he really wanted to live in the same era as Joey Boy. By the way, Captain Luo No, what is the name of our pirate group? Xiaoqi suddenly asked. It would be embarrassing if the person has been chosen but the name has not been decided yet. Our goal is to kill all the celestial dragons, so let's call ourselves the God-Killing Pirates. After a brief thought, Luo No decided to name the group the God-Killing Pirates. Ha ha ha, it's settled then. The God-Killing Pirates, what a nice name. Cheers! There was the sound of clinking glasses in the room, followed by the hearty laughter of three people. Hey, did I hear you right? Pluton Rayleigh is coming back. Villain, that is enough to scare away 2 generals, plus Pluton Rayleigh. Oh my god, another incredible pirate group is about to appear. The God-Killing Pirates, specializing in killing the gods of this world? What a domineering name! The sea will be even more violent next time. After the supernovas present heard this conversation, everyone was extremely surprised. There's no need to call up other crew members. These 3 people alone are enough to fight against any 4 Emperors pirate group. By the way, Luo No, you said you wanted to win over the strong people from all over the world. What about Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Kaido, Charlotte Linlin, Achaku, Silver Axe and the others? These people are now famous pirates, even stronger than they were during the Battle of God Valley. After finishing a drink, Rayleigh said. In the Battle of God Valley, these people's strength has not yet reached its peak. Now, their strength has truly reached its peak. Even more powerful than during the Valley of the Gods period. Yes, they are all 4 emperors now. Achaku and Silver Axe are also big pirates with bounties over 2 billion. Golden Lion is also known as one of the 3 legendary pirates along with Whitebeard and Roger. Xiaoqi also echoed. She was a little worried whether these people still recognized Vice Captain Luo No. Ha ha ha, need I say more? Rayleigh, Shaggy! Don't you know me yet? Only children make choices, adults of course want them all. Luo No said firmly. 36 years ago, I was able to make these monsters bow down to me and recognize me as the Vice Captain. 36 years later, it's still the same. Luo No is fully confident about this. Hey, did I hear you right? Am I crazy or are they crazy? You actually want to win over Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Kaido, and Big Mom? These people are monsters. They won't be willing to be inferior to others. But if these people are really in a pirate group, I can't even imagine it. The supernovas began to doubt their lives after hearing this conversation. They actually wanted to bring all the legendary pirates onto one ship. How is this possible? Is this the style of the great pirates of the last era? They are trying to win over the world's strongest people. What a grand project! In front of them, I feel like my vision is too small. I feel the same way. The Straw Hat Pirates in the house were also shocked by the conversation between the 3 people. It would be great if we could gather Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Pluton Rayleigh, Kaido, and Big Mom on the same ship. What kind of scene was that? Anyway, the Straw Hat Pirates can't imagine it at all. Ha ha ha, you're still as heroic as ever, Luo No. In that case, let's decide on the next stop. Go to the New World. Meet the heroes of the old times. I haven't seen Whitebeard, Kaido, and the others for a long time. I really want to see their expressions when they see you sooner. I'm looking forward to it more and more. Rayleigh laughed out loud and was looking forward to the future. P.S. Here are 3 more updates. After reading everyone's comments, I found that many brothers are somewhat concerned about Roger's death. Don't worry, brothers, all of this will be explained in future plots. Write the characters one by one and be patient. See you tomorrow at 7 o'clock sharp. Note, there is also a question about the strength setting. I will talk about it first to avoid a bunch of cloud stuff arguing. Rayleigh is the rank of vice captain, not the highest officials like the 3 disasters or generals. There is a huge gap between the top officer and the captain. There is a difference in rank. The difference between the deputy captain and the captain is very small, and they can be considered to be of the same level. Another example is Ben Beckman, the vice captain of the Red Hair Pirates, who is also at the level of a general. On the contrary, Marco, Katakuri, and Jin are only the highest ranking officers, not vice captains. His strength is also lower than Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido.